Welcome to part 2 of What If Naruto Awakens a Chakra Molding Bloodline and Gets Harem with Fem Haku. Don't forget to like and subscribe as it motivates me to upload more videos in the future, and as always, link to the fanfiction is in the description. Chapter 9. After he told the group of genin about the rules, the board automatically started moving until it showed the first match, which everyone quickly cleared out of the arena for. Yet again, I don't really feel like writing down every single match again, so I will just skip most of them, seeing as they will be the same. Well, except for Hinata's and Naruto's this time. Also, while Hinata was taught some of her clan moves, she still can't do them too well, seeing as she is too nervous about how she would do. And eventually the rounds made it to Naruto's, who was against Kiba. So, both of said boys walked down the stairs to the arena while smiling, ready to show off just how strong they have gotten. After all, they've always had a bit of a rivalry going on since they were kids. So, they happily continued walking until they both were standing in the middle of the arena waiting for their match to start. Ready to lose, Naruto? Kiba asks his friend with a confident smile. And notice that I have decided to not edit the fight scenes much, seeing as I like to see just how my writing style has improved. If you wish for me to edit these, well, I can possibly do it later, but I am sure that most of you could get the main picture from this, and the fight is way overdone anyways. No, but you probably should try to get ready for my victory. Naruto told him right before the match started, and Kiba and Akamaru charged over towards Naruto. Course Naruto didn't move, instead he simply pulled his chakra at his hands and quickly formed a length of blue chakra chain long enough to use as a whip against Kiba. Course said boy and his dog managed to dodge Naruto's chains even when they began to pick up speed, so that they seemed to be coming at them without ever stopping. Course this only went on for until Kiba was finally within range of attacking and quickly began spinning at the same time Akamaru did. Course he then called out passing Fang as he spun at Naruto with his dog. Yay, not the best with their moves. I mean, come on, they all have fangs in them basically and don't really state whether they need their partner for it or not. And I am just too looked along for it, seeing as it doesn't matter for the story. And with that they quickly both came down upon where Naruto originally stood, just barely missing each other with the razor-like attack. Course when they stopped they didn't see Naruto but quickly smelled him out and lined up for another attack while trying to prepare for anything strange Naruto might pull. Course said boy was simply trying to think of a way to beat Kiba without hurting the boy too much. Though that wasn't made too easy, seeing as Kiba and Akamaru were giving this fight everything they had. So, pretty soon after his last dodge he had to jump out of the way yet again. Now of course he tried to attack back, but every time he tried their spins would break his chains by forcing him to make them longer than he could control. Though this did end up giving Naruto an idea. So, after Kiba's last pass through, Naruto, instead of getting far away from him, jumped between both Kiba and Akamaru as soon as they landed. Naruto, what the hell are you doing? You trying to make this easy on me? Okay then, Kiba told him, then went after Naruto again, figuring there was no way that he could miss Naruto at close range. Course this just made Naruto smile himself. For as soon as Kiba did this he made his chakra chains as long as he could possibly make them and launched them at the spinning duo. Course yet again it wrapped around the duo, though this time he actually wanted it to happen and quickly pulled on both of them behind them, causing them to slam into each other. Now this was made worse due to the fact that they were still spinning, so instead of causing damage to Naruto they were injuring each other. Course by the time they managed to stop they both were heavily damaged and Naruto simply just wrapped them up in the already made chains. Now give up, Kiba, Naruto told him calmly, and the boy struggled for a few moments before finally doing exactly that, making Naruto the winner of the match. Course this shocked several of the people watching, seeing as they still thought Naruto would be the bottom of the class. Still, Hinata was smiling, happy that her boyfriend won, as he went up the stairs and sat by her while Kiba went to get him and his dog a checked out just in case. Nice job, Naruto-kun, Hinata told her boyfriend as soon as he sat down. Course he just sighed at this. Thank you, Hinata-chan, but I just wish I didn't have to be the one to ruin Kiba's chance. Naruto told her. Oh, don't worry about it, Naruto-kun. I mean, both did your best. It was just bad luck that brought him to fight you. Besides you, there is always the next test anyways, so don't feel bad about it. Kiba already knew that this might happen when he started. She told him, trying to comfort him. Course this just made him smile again. Oh well, at least he already accepted that. Naruto told her happily. Thank you, Hinata-chan. he added, then sat to watch the rest of the fights as he held her hand. Though seeing as he wasn't used to being intimate in any way, really this small show of love was more than enough to get Naruto blushing a bit. Course Hinata was as well and was currently in her own little world. Ah, Naruto-kun is actually holding my hand. Ah, it is nice to even have him this close to me, and this won't be the last of the love I get seeing as he is my boyfriend. Hinata thought with one of the biggest smiles on her face. I just hope our relationship continues. I mean, he might actually hug me and then kiss me. Then maybe after a while I can even try out the scene from page 42 of Jiraiya-sama's newest book. She thought happily, blushing as she thought about it. Kurenai couldn't help but let out as she saw how Hinata was acting even from the seats that were set up for the teachers to watch and discuss. Though she was happy to notice that no one else was giving the couple any of their attention at all. Even with me trying to stop my sister from becoming this way, she still managed to receive the Hyuga clan's bad habit. Well, at least her shyness should keep her from trying most of whatever she is thinking about for now. But I will have to make sure Naruto doesn't encourage her. Sadly, if they do get to know each other well enough, I don't think even I would be able to stop them from that. But I will try, she thought with a frown, then glared at the boy. Yes, I will try my hardest to keep my little sister as innocent as possible. I won't let you take her away from me, Naruto. She thought, still glaring at the boy, but made sure to keep part of her focus on the matches just in case one of her students came up. Still, this was more than enough focus of female anger that Naruto couldn't help feel a shiver go down his spine. But the poor teen couldn't figure out why he did so, no matter how hard he tried, so in the end he shrugged it off. After all, at the moment he was more than happy to focus on the feeling of his girlfriend's soft hands on his calloused ones instead. This sweet moment continued all the way to the point where it was finally Hinata's turn to fight. A match that turned out to be between her and her own cousin, a cousin that hated her simply because of which side of the family she was born into. Though when she saw her cousin staring at her, Hinata couldn't help but freeze up with fear, seeing as she knew he was a prodigy of the clan. But thankfully she was able to calm down a bit after feeling Naruto place a hand on her shoulder, making her look at the blonde beside her instead. Hinata, don't be afraid, just do your best, I know you can win if you do. Naruto told her, giving her shoulder a small reassuring quick squeeze, then sat back down, allowing her to walk past him to the stairs. Now this small pep talk seemed to be enough for Hinata as she quickly regained control of herself and began the walk down to the arena. I will not let you down, Naruto-kun, was all she was thinking as she took each step down to where her cousin was now waiting. And soon enough the two of them stood a few feet away from each other on the dirt ground. Hinata-san, just give up already, we both know that you can't win, fate won't allow it. Neji told her, trying to break the small amount of backbone the girl seemed to have built up. But this time Hinata wouldn't allow this to happen. Instead she focused her mind away from his hate-filled eyes and on trying to impress her Naruto-kun. No, Neji-san, I will not just give up. I have too much riding on this match. Hinata told her cousin, even though she disliked fighting. What? You mean you have a reason now? Let me guess, you are going to try to beat me to show off to that Naruto boy you are so interested in. Or is it to try and show people that you aren't as weak as everyone thinks? Either way, you should know your chances of beating me is basically zero, though I do have to admit that I am shocked you would be willing to go so far for someone that is the bottom of the barrel when it comes to this generation. Surely, he managed to beat his opponent only through pure luck. Neji told her, causing the girl to for once in her life become furious. While Naruto is actually in his own clan now, they refrained from telling the public so that Naruto at least had a chance to get the rank needed to attend meetings without needing to pick someone to speak for him. Just made this rule so that I can use some of my ideas in this story. Meaning only the girls and the clan heads know right now. Sorry for the long message in the middle of chapter. Don't you dare talk about Naruto-kun like that. Hinata ordered her cousin and was going to say more, but the match was started and instead she just quickly went on the attack. Now of course, thanks to the fact that they both were from the same clan, they both had relatively the same moves, so they knew what to expect. So, this truly was a battle based upon skill only. Which was shown as they launched Chakra Blast after Chakra Blast at each other ferociously. Neither side wanted to give up and eventually Hinata got a few good blows on Neji, launching said boy back a few feet. Course this just added to the teen's rage. Suffer Hinata. Neji quickly told her, then quickly ran at her, hitting her with several palm strikes only to say 8 trigrams 64 palms. And with that he backed off, allowing Hinata time to enjoy the pain that he just gave her. Which he saw soon enough when she stumbled a bit when the jutsu took its full toll on her body. Now just give up, there is no way you can win now that every one of your chakra points has been closed off. He told her, simply watching his cousin suffer. No, I can't give up. Not when Naruto-kun is watching and rooting for me. Hinata told herself, then forced herself to move towards her opponent. So you don't want to just admit that you are a failure yet? Well then I guess I will just have to make this the final time you make that mistake. Neji told her, then hit her lung with a chakra pulse after avoiding her pitiful attempt to doge. Now give up. Course Hinata still said nothing and continued to trying to fight, even though everyone including Naruto was trying to tell her to just give up before she gets any more hurt. In fact, her injuries were bad enough that the match was even called in Neji's favor before she fought to her own death. Still she could do nothing but stand on her shaky legs, barely alive. Come to think of it, why don't I just make it so that this world doesn't have to deal with your uselessness, and get a bit of revenge for my father's death, Neji told her then quickly while muttering the last part. He then ran at her with his palm glowing with chakra, ready to send a chakra pulse at Hinata's heart. Course while he did this everyone was either shocked or telling him to stop. In fact, several people even went to try and stop Neji, including Naruto. Thankfully before Neji got to Hinata he had several people held him back, including his own sensei. Meanwhile Naruto was hugging his girlfriend with his back to Neji, basically being a human shield. Now these ninjas kept restraining Neji until Hinata was rushed off to the hospital. Now Naruto would have gone with her, but instead he was shaking with rage and quickly glanced over at Neji with his whirlpool eyes now red with slits through them as red chakra raged in the air around him. You better hope that you don't face me in the next round of fighting, for I will make sure I kill you in a way so gruesome even Anko will cringe. Naruto told Neji, then left to go be with Hinata in the hospital. Now this managed to make all of the ninja around Neji feel slightly afraid of the thought of that happening, seeing as they knew how Anko was, while Neji just was confused. Though he knew that Naruto was someone to be careful with thanks to the display of chakra he showed around him. Course the people standing in the arena weren't the only ones to see what Naruto did. In the stands. Man, I have never seen Naruto that mad before. In fact I have only seen him mad once, and that was with thugs that wanted to hurt us. Sakura told the rest of the group. Yay, but there was good reason for him to be mad. I mean, he did basically try to kill Hinata, who apparently is his girlfriend or something, judging by the way they have been acting. Still, I can't believe Neji said those things and tried to kill his own cousin. Tenten told them, slightly shocked herself. Course they then all realized that Ino was still slightly pale. Ino, are you okay? Oh yay. I am just thinking about Naruto's threat. Man, that he truly does know how to scare the crap out of someone. Ino told the group, confusing them. Why, I mean, this Anko person can't be too bad, right? Sakura asks her friend. No, she is worse. Anko is one of the leaders of the interrogation squad of Konoha. She became good at what she does for the simple reason that she actually enjoys torturing the people. She happily finds what a person's worst nightmare is and uses them against them. In fact, it is rumored that the screams of her victims are one of the things that brings her pleasure. Also, thanks to her and the other leaders' style, Konoha is one of the most feared places to be tortured in the elemental nations, according to my father. He even says that her success rate is pretty close to 100%. Ino explained to the group, shocking them. What? How could someone become that demented? Tenten asks, amazed. No one knows, but people have a theory that it was due to her life training under Orochimaru caused it. Then again there is another that says it is because of the way she was treated after he defected from Konoha. Finally, there is also a rumor that saying her method was originally not that bad and only became this bad due to her becoming friends with the village demon, whatever that means. Ino tells the group, scaring them even more. Man, if Naruto says his plan would make a demonic person like that feel fear, then what the hell does he have planned for Neji? Must be bad enough to destroy him both mentally and physically. They all, though, at the same time causing a shiver of fear to go down all of their backs. Course there was another conversation going on at this same time. GGG Gara, did you see that change? Isn't it a lot like Tamari began to ask only to see that her brother wasn't listening and seemed to be in his own little world. That chakra felt like mine, only a lot stronger. Could he possibly be like me? But if so, then why does he act so differently? Naruto Uzumaki, you truly are someone I need to keep my eye on. You might even be one of the ones that can help me kill off all these people who want to torture us, who hold the demons. Gaara, though, with an evil smirk that made his siblings slightly shy away from him as he looked down at the gate that Naruto left through. Chapter 10. After Naruto left, the rest of the matches came and went, though none of them seemed as interesting after the threat that Naruto gave. After the matches finished, the winners were set up into the actual competitions bracket and let everyone leave to prepare for a month. Though seeing as Naruto already left, it was decided that Kakashi would tell him at a later time. So, everyone went their separate ways while those competing were trying to figure out how to train for their upcoming battles. Though for most of the Konoha ninja involved, their first plan was to check up on their friends. Hospital. In the hospital, as soon as Hinata was taken in, she was put into the emergency room. And of course, Naruto was there sitting right next to the room within minutes, simply waiting for her to come out and to hear the news. Though due to Naruto still thinking about Neji, he was accidentally still releasing enough ki to make most people walking around his area give him space. Something the blonde didn't even notice, seeing as he was focusing on making plans for fighting Neji in the future. Something that gave him such an eerie smile that would be enough to make civilians stay away even without the Ki. Thankfully, none of Naruto's Ki was entering the medical room, seeing as it was sealed as soon as the doors closed. Rest of the genin. When they finally made it up to the floor that Hinata was on, all of them immediately felt uneasy, though they had no clue why. Man, why the hell is there something that seems dangerous enough to make us uneasy in a fucking hospital? Kiba, who came back from his checkup with minor injuries, asked while Akamaru whined, clearly scared. Course, a nurse who was walking by with a clipboard decided to answer him. Well, none of us besides those in the sealed-off medical rooms really want to even be on this floor, thanks to the brat sighting by room 129. The nurse told them, glaring in the direction of the room. What, someone is causing this? How? Ino asks the woman, shocked. Though in the end their answer ended up coming from someone behind them, which turned out to be Haku. Well, due to Hinata being in that room, Naruto is sitting over there just waiting for her to come out. Though apparently, he is annoyed at something, seeing as the whole time he has been here he has been releasing ki. In FCT he hasn't weakened his Ki even slightly this whole time. What happened to get him this upset? Haku asked the group. Well, Hinata lost her match to Neji rather badly. Not to mention that Neji had no remorse and beat her nearly to death before the match was called. Though what really got this started was when Neji went for the kill even though the match was stopped. Now thankfully he was stopped, but Naruto still gave him a threat so bad that even some of the people around us cringed in fear, then left, apparently to come here. Sakura told the girl, who simply nodded her head. Well, then that would explain the smile he has then. She told them, confusing them. But instead of answering them verbally, she simply brought them over to where Naruto was to see for themselves. Damn, Naruto truly can be scary when he wants to be. I really do have to remember not to piss him off. Kiba thought, creeped out like the rest of them were when they found Naruto. Naruto-kun, how is Hinata doing in there? Ino asks after partially getting over her shock. Course, when she said this, he finally was brought out of his crazed mindset, which released all of the overwhelming ki from the area, allowing all of the people around him except for Haku to breathe a sigh of relief. Though the reason it didn't bother Haku was due to her being used to facing strong ki already thanks to Zabuza. There has been no news on her health. All I know is that they have yet to come out at all since they began to heal her. Naruto told them, clearly worried about her. Hey man, don't worry. Hinata is strong enough to come out of this in no time. They just want to make sure they help her healing process as much as they can. I mean, come on, she has to be almost completely healed already. Kiba told him, trying to cheer him up and to get everyone in a bit of a better mood. Yeah, you are probably right. Naruto mumbled, though he didn't sound so sure. Course, after that he simply just looked at the door, blocking him from seeing how Hinata was doing. After that they all simply sat down and talked a bit while waiting for their friend to come out. Plus that night in the end Hinata didn't come out of the emergency room for quite a while. And eventually most of the friends had to leave thanks to their parents forcing them. But Naruto had no one that would do that to him, leaving the task to persuade him to get some rest up to Haku and Kakashi. Though he even ignored their persuasions and just kept on staring at the door. Finally, after several hours, Hinata was finally brought out of the emergency room and was placed in a normal recovery room for some rest. Something Naruto was truly thankful to see, but didn't bother talking with the medical staff that much and instead just sat in one of the chairs her room had until he finally fell asleep due to exhaustion. Next morning. Early in the morning, Ino decided to go see how Hinata was, seeing as she was still worried about her friend. Course now she brought flowers that she grabbed from their family's shop. But when she got there, she saw something that she didn't expect. For while she thought that everyone left when they were ordered to, she was wrong. For there was Naruto sleeping with his head down on the bed. Hinata was unclearly asleep. So he stayed here with her throughout the whole night. Man, Hinata sure got lucky getting such a loyal boyfriend, but wait, if I really wanted to, I could be with him as well. She thought, smiling slightly. Course after a few moments of just standing there, she noticed that the morning sun rays that came through the room's window and seemed to bother Hinata a bit. So, figuring that she was waking up, Ino simply continued to stand there watching as the girl slowly began to wake up finally. Though she clearly was tired, not only from her fight but from most of her body's energy going into healing. Was all Hinata could quietly mumble out, clearly not enjoying her slightly sedated and still sore body. Good morning, sleeping beauty. Man, you gave us such a scare. Ino told the girl, then put the flowers down on a stand near the bed. Oh, Hinata answered, feeling a bit upset. But don't worry, Naruto-kun has already planned to get revenge for you, seeing as he is fighting Neji right away in the next round. Ino told Hinata, shocking the girl. What? Hinata asks, shocked. Yay, he even threatened him to fate that made even the Jonin shiver in fear. Man, Neji is a dead man for sure when Naruto gets his hands on him. Ino told her, shaking her head. No. I have to stop Naruto-kun. I mean, even if he almost did that, he is still family. I have to Naruto before it is too late. Hinata told Ino, shocking the girl. What, even after he did and said all of that to you? Ino asks, shocked only to get a nod in return. Course to this, Ino just shook her head in disbelief. Sigh, fine, then try to explain that to him when he wakes up. Ino tells the girl, which confused Hinata. You mean you haven't noticed yet? Just look to your left side. She ended up telling the girl, who did just that and saw what Ino was talking about. So he waited here for me to wake up. Did he stay up all night or something just for me? Man, I knew my Naruto-kun was truly the best man I could ever get. Maybe that is why he captured my heart almost as soon as I first saw him. Hinata thought, looking down at Naruto lovingly, and then began to gently play with his blonde hair with a small smile on her face. Hinata, how did you get lucky enough to get a boyfriend that cares about you so much that he actually spends the entire day with you while you are in the hospital? I mean, he never even left for food and stayed even after the adults tried to get us all out of the hospital. Not to mention the fact that he would probably do whatever you wanted him to if you asked. Ino told Hinata, who only gave a small yeah as an answer. So, you are going to share him with me, right? Ino then adds with a smirk that only increased when she heard the same thing happen again. Wait, what? Hinata asks, shocked when she finally fully heard Ino's question. Too late, you already gave me an answer. Ino told the girl with a small smile, then noticed that Naruto seemed to finally begin to come out of his nap. I mean, Naruto agrees with me, right? Ino asks the still partially asleep boy. Oh, yeah, whatever. Naruto told the girl, then laid his back down to sleep some more. See, now that makes it official. I am now Naruto's newest girlfriend. Ino told Hinata happily. Wait, what? Naruto asks, seeing as that statement surprised him out of his tiredness. You heard me, Naruto, you just agreed to let me be your second girlfriend. And don't even say that can't happen because I already know all about your CRA. Ino told Naruto. But Ino, we hardly know each other. So maybe you should try to get to know someone before you try to create a relationship. Naruto told her, trying to get her to think about it a bit. Course this just made Ino look a bit annoyed. Fine, but I already am 80% sure that you are exactly what I want in a guy just by the way you treat Hinata. But I will wait a little while, but you have to at least take me on a date to get to know each other then. Ino ordered Naruto. Course this just made him chuckle a bit. Well, Ino never was known for hiding what she truly thinks. Naruto thought with a smile. Fine, but only if Hinata-chan agrees. After all, I don't want to do something my Harem doesn't like. Naruto told her, causing Ino to give Hinata a puppy dog look. Sigh. Fine, but remember Ino, I was the first girl, so I am going to set up the rules. Which I will tell you later on. But for today let me just recover for a while. Hinata told Ino, who nodded understanding, watching as Hinata laid down again on the bed and let her head fall back onto the pillow. Course with that, Naruto simply kissed her forehead and walked out of the room, with Ino following soon after so that she could sleep in peace now that he was sure that she was safe. For while Naruto still wanted to be by her side, he also knew that she should have peace and quiet. Equals outside of room equals. Well, Naruto, do you feel happy now that you know she is safe? Ino asks the boy she was by curious. Yay, I really was worried about her for a while there, but now that she is out of that danger zone I can finally not worry about her as much. Naruto told the girl only to see her smiling at him. What? He asks confused. Oh, it just makes me happy to hear that you still go for love instead of beauty, even though you can basically court as many girls as you want. Course with Hinata you kind of got both, but that isn't my point. What I am trying to say is that instead of you going and just getting any girl that you think looks good, you actually go for the girls you care about. It is good to hear that you are such a good man. They are so rare in this world, or so I am told. Ino tells him. He really didn't know how to answer her statement, so they just entered a comfortable silence as they walked to Naruto's favorite restaurant, seeing as Naruto had not ate anything in basically a day and a half and he was starving. Ichiraku shop. Oi, old man, can I get 6 bowls of miso and pork ramen? Naruto asked his favorite cook, who simply smiled at his long-time loyal customer. Course Ino ordered a miso ramen as well, seeing as she planned to simply enjoy some time with Naruto and get to know him before her and Hinata set up the ground rules. So, while they waited for their food to be prepared, they both told each other about themselves just to get a little bit of information on each other. Now of course this simply seemed like two friends talking, seeing as Naruto refused to even try something that would be related to a relationship like kissing until they actually knew that there would be something between them rather than just physical attraction. Huh, Naruto-kun, you truly know how to have both funny and serious moments, don't you? Ino asks, happily laughing a bit while said boy was smiling. Well, of course, if I didn't know how to have fun then I just wouldn't even be myself anymore. Naruto told her, still smiling happily. But hey, instead of laughing at me, shouldn't you be laughing at the how many time Miss always full of energy ended up sleeping at her parents' shop? Naruto teasingly asks the girl, causing her to blush out of embarrassment. Course this only lasted for a few moments until they both stared laughing at the other's expense, just remembering the past and reviewing the present. Still, when Ayame saw how close Naruto and Ino were getting, she was thoroughly confused. Hey, why is Naruto on a date with that blonde? I thought that Hinata already took Naruto from me, not that I had him anyways. But still, cheating is not acceptable. Ayame thought, annoyed, and decided to talk to them when she brought over their ramen. Thank you, Ayame-ne-san. Naruto happily told the waiter that he treated as a sister for most of his life. You're welcome, Naruto-kun. Though, can I ask you something quickly? Ayame asks her secret crush. Yeah, what is it? Well, you are dating Hinata, right? Yeah. So, does that mean you are cheating or something? She asks, deciding that she was going to get her answers once and for all. Now Naruto quickly thought about it and figured he was in a way cheating on Hinata. It just happened to be legal, seeing as the CRA forces him to do so. Well, sadly I guess I am. But Naruto began to tell her, but didn't actually get a chance. How dare you cheat on Hinata, or any girl for that matter, Naruto? Why, if I didn't like you, like family, I would kill you for even putting a girl through that. But I am still going to, she yelled at him angrily until she was stopped by a yell. Naruto-kun isn't cheating, he just thinks he is, seeing as that rule he was put under forces him to date more than one girl. Ino tells Ayame, surprising the girl with the information in Naruto with how fast she came to his defense. What? Ayame asks, confused yet again. You see, Naruto was put under the CRA law, meaning that he has to have more than wife. So, he kind of has to have more than one girlfriend, and we all know it. Ino told the now curious girl. All. How many people is Naruto dating? She asks, both curious and to see if she still had a chance. Well, right now just Hinata and me, but I bet there are several others that will want to join when they hear the news. Especially since he treats his girlfriends like princesses no matter what. Ino told Ayame, smiling a bit, seeing as she was all ready to get treated the same way Hinata was, protectiveness and all. Still, after she said this, the only noise in the building was Ayame's father cooking and Naruto eating. Wait, so if he can have multiple girls then I still have a chance, right? Ayame thought happily, looking over at the blonde that caught her attention. But does he like me like that? I mean, he treats me like a sister every time he sees me. Will he be willing to change that to seeing me as a lover? Man, so many questions. Why did the guy that stole my heart have to be so confusing? Well, I guess it was what I asked for when I fell in love with the most unpredictable ninja in Konoha, Ayame thought, smiling a bit more. Hey Ayame, why are you staring at me? Naruto asks the girl when she got out of her zoning out. Course, when she saw him looking at her confused, she instantly realized that she was caught staring at him. No reason, Naruto-kun. I was just thinking for a bit. Ayame told him quickly. Oh, about what? Naruto asked, even more curious. Just about a new recipe I wanted to try using. She quickly told him, happy that she thought of a believable lie. Oh, great, well when you finally get it ready please let me be one of the first to try it. Naruto begged her, already drooling a bit at the thought of a brand new ramen flavor, seeing as he assumed she would be making ramen. Course, this just made her laugh a bit before she promised she would, then quickly went back to bringing in more of Naruto's ramen order after a quick love-filled glance. Now Naruto missed this, but Ino didn't say anything. Instead she simply ate a bit more of her ramen. Looks like I will have to take someone with me to talk with Hinata. She did. Course, after that both of them simply continued to enjoy their time talking, with Ayame joining in several times until they finally decided to go their own separate ways. Next day. Naruto was walking quickly over to the hospital after meeting his team, where they were quickly released after Kakashi told Sasuke that he was going to be training him and that Naruto was going to be trained by someone named Ebisu. Sadly though, after he reached the hospital he was only allowed to be with her for a little bit before it was time for a checkup. Something that forced Naruto to leave after just giving the girl one last hug. So, he decided to spend his day training instead now that his first plan was ruined. Gaara. Gaara was walking around Konoha scaring everyone with the amount of ki that he never stopped pumping out when he finally saw Naruto running to the hospital, which made him smile. Only 1 month until I can kill you, blonde. I will make sure mother gets as much of your blood as possible. For mother seems to want you more than anyone else in this village. He thought, with his sand slowly moving around him. Chapter 11. After Naruto left the hospital, Naruto quickly went over to the small training ground where he first met Konohamaru and waited for his newest sensei. Course, he didn't have to wait too long, seeing as the man ended up coming to the area exactly on time. Welcome Naruto-san, and congratulations. Thanks to your sensei you have the honor of learning from the great Ebisu, who has been teaching future Kages for years, Ebisu told him cockily as he pushed up his glasses. Oh, hey, so Konohamaru's closet pervert of a sensei is going to teach me now. Naruto responded, causing Ebisu to stumble a bit, losing his cool pose. You brat. You should be honored to have me as your sensei. Ebisu angrily told Naruto, who simply looked at the man, clearly uninterested. Yeah, whatever. So, what will we be learning? Naruto asks him, trying to just get his training started. Thankfully Ebisu decided to listen to him this time and regrouped himself with a fake cough. Yes, of course. Now follow me, he told Naruto, then quickly went back into the village with Naruto following behind him. Man, I hate Kakashi for leaving me with this idiot. I mean, sure, he probably was persuaded by the civilian council to teach their precious Uchiha, but he could have at least found someone a bit better. Even Sakura is probably going to learn more from the Chunin Kakashi put her with. Naruto thought, annoyed as he was led to one of Konoha's hot spring. Course, this confused him, but still he just went along with Ebisu as they went into the male side after Naruto paid for both of them to get in. But instead of changing, Ebisu quickly brought Naruto over to the hottest water he could find and waited for Naruto to join him. Okay Naruto, we are here for you to learn how to walk on water, basically meaning that we are going to try to bring your chakra control up to the next level. So to walk on water you must Same as anime, Naruto tries and falls in the water several times. Naruto tried to do this several times before he finally started to get the hang of it. Course he was even happier when he soon felt that he could use his bloodline more effectively and might even be able to reach a bit farther. Course his teacher already left way before Naruto did, claiming that he had to do something and figured that Naruto would take longer to master it anyways. Though he didn't realize that Naruto's bloodline actually made him work on his control whenever he used it, making getting to the next level of control slightly easier. But instead of worrying about that, Naruto worked on mastering this control exercise. But after getting decent with it, he instead decided to finally enjoy the service he entered and quickly took off his gear. He then happily sat in the warm water and enjoyed the heat, slowly releasing the tension in his muscles. Though thanks to relaxing in perfect silence, he was able to hear people walk into the other side of the hot spring. So, he tried to ignore it and just continued to enjoy the water even as he heard several people begin to talk. Anyo, Kurenai-sensei, I just got out of the hospital and was told to rest and relax. I really think I should just head home and try to relax instead of going around the village with you and your friends. A timid voice stuttered out that Naruto recognized as Hinata's, which made Naruto decide to listen and curious about what his girlfriend was up to. Oh, nonsense Hinata, if you need to relax, nothing is better than the hot springs water, another voice told her, and soon Naruto heard several splashes, meaning that they probably entered the water. Besides, since you are growing up so quickly and beautifully that you might have to join our group soon, especially with the way these are growing, the seemingly happy voice told Hinata, and soon Naruto heard a surprised eep come from said girl, meaning that the person either did something embarrassing to her or simply pointed at something Hinata was shy about. Bah, Hana-chan, she probably won't become an ice queen seeing as she already seems to have warmed up to a certain blonde. A voice that sounded like Anko in Naruto's opinion told their group, then laughed at what Naruto could only guess to be Hinata's reaction. Oh, come on Anko, she can still be one, I mean you, or even though you were with Iruka. Yeah, I guess. But come to think of it, I never did learn who sent those letters, seeing as both me and Iruka-kun know we didn't. So, come on Kur-chan, just tell me already. I know that the person that did it probably was watching, meaning that you had to have seen who did it. Anko begged her friend, wanting to know who cared enough about either her or Iruka enough to do that. Fine, I will tell you that I saw who did it, but I think I will leave it a secret and simply use it as blackmail or bribe, for you or the person that did it later on. The voice that had to be Kurenai's told her friend, clearly happy judging by the tone of voice. Oh, come on, that is so not a fair thing to do to your group sister. Anko whined childishly. Still not gonna happen, Kurenai told her friend happily. Now let's just enjoy our time here, she added, and with that being said, Naruto stopped listening and began to think himself. Well, it seems that she is truly out of the hospital now. Course now that she is, I just need to make sure that she doesn't get hurt like that again under my watch. I don't care if it was for the test or not. I mean, watching her get beaten like that and not being able to help her made my blood boil. Well, at least now she is making some new friends to add to her group, and it might be good if she did end up entering those girls' group so that they will watch out for her when I can't. Though hearing that Kurenai plans on blackmail me doesn't sound too good, whatever, I will deal with it when it comes to be a problem. Naruto thought as the mist the warm water made cleared up slightly, allowing Naruto to see that a fully clothed man with long white hair was looking at the wall, blocking the two sides, giggling perversely as he wrote down stuff in a notebook. Now of course this annoyed Naruto extremely, seeing as he knew that this old man was sneaking a look at not only just his friends but also his girlfriend, and that isn't something that Naruto wouldn't just sit and let happen. So, in his rage, Naruto quickly made chakra chains appear in his hand and launched them as fast as he could at the old man's head. Though just before they hit the man, he dogged them, causing them to continue on and end up breaking a hole in the wall. Course this was heard by the girls, who quickly covered up in their towels and tried to get decent as quickly as possible, seeing as they knew the sound of breaking wood came from the separation wall, and wanted to make sure that whatever male had the nerve to make a hole to see them would get justice served to them without them seeing anything else. Meaning that they also kept their ears open, trying to hear exactly what was happening on the other side of the wall so that they would at least know where their prey would start to run if it got away before they could get to it. Course on the other side, that was not what they worried about at the moment. Instead, the old man was glaring at Naruto, clearly annoyed. Now Gaki, why the hell did you go and ruin my research like that? The man asks, clearly annoyed, though Naruto was too, and quickly began showing it by releasing some of his ki. Research. I will not have you looking at my friend and my girlfriend just so you can get some damn research. Naruto told the man, annoyed. Course this didn't seem to worry the man at all. Oh, so you were dating one of them. Which one of those beauties is yours? You know what, how about this, I will give you a copy of my next book for free if you get me some good research time with your friends. I assure you it is a good deal, seeing as your help will be appreciated by all of the ICHA readers out there. The man asked with a smile, waiting for the answer he expected to be good. But instead he quickly ended up having to dodge several more jabs from Naruto's chakra chains that yet again did nothing but destroy the fence. I would never let a pervert like you ever get near to my friends, let alone see them in any shape or fashion. Naruto yelled at the man, ready to try his luck at killing him for trying to imply that Naruto would simply let his friends be unknowingly taken advantage of just for a stupid book. Oi, I am not a pervert. I am a super pervert. The man told Naruto with a large smile that quickly faded when he felt a large mass of ki behind him. Hi ladies, he tells them, then tries to run only to quickly be caught for a beating that the girls knew the now titled super pervert wouldn't forget anytime soon. Course the loud noise of Naruto destroying the wall and also the super pervert's cries of pain quickly brought the female owner over to the baths to see what was going on. And with the female clients obviously enraged, she quickly deduced that a male did something. So, she quickly grabbed the chakra suppressing seals she had for emergencies that she kept in her pocket and put them on both males' necks. Now she of course was only able to, seeing as Naruto didn't try to stop her, and Jiraiya, the pervert if you didn't notice, was too busy trying to protect a certain part of his body from the girl's wrath. So, after she did that, she quickly was able to drag Jiraiya away and moved to grab Naruto until the girls stopped her by grabbing the woman's shoulder and simply nodding their head no. Course this just made the owner shrug and went back to dragging Jiraiya off to somewhere, and soon enough they heard what sounded like a body hitting the stone ground of the village's road. After which the woman came back to the group and looked over the girls present. Alright, will one of you tell me what the hell was going on in here? She asks, then simply waited for them to tell her. Well, basically we found out that the old pervert was peeping on us. Kurenai told the woman, still looking annoyed just like the rest of them. For even the shy and kind Hinata looked ready. She was thinking about how to kill the old man that was watching them. Course this was apparently a good enough answer for the owner. Ah, so that explains why there are holes in the wall then. She told them, nodding her head. Well, that was actually me. He managed to dodge me when I attacked him for looking at my girlfriend and friends. I will pay for the repairs though. Naruto, the owner, rubbing the back of his head in embarrassment. Oh, why thank you for the offer and your honesty. It is greatly appreciated. Also, thanks for catching that pervert. He has been sneaking in here for his research way too often recently, and so far you are the only guy that noticed him and actually did something about it. The owner told Naruto with a small smile and quickly went over to him and removed the seal from his neck. Now if only I could find a way to stop him altogether, she mumbled, clearly annoyed with her problem. It is no problem, but would you girls mind going back over to your side already? Naruto asks the girls, blushing as he glances over at them, who were still only in their towels. Why? Does Naruto-kun not like what he is seeing? Anko asked, causing Naruto to blush even more. What? No. I mean, Naruto mumbles, blushing due to Anko's teasing. Is someone blushing from seeing his girlfriend, her sensei, and her sensei's friends? She teases even more. Though I can't blame you after getting to see beauties like these. She added, point at her breasts that Naruto couldn't help but look at when she did. Course when Hinata saw the attention Naruto was giving Anko, she narrowed her eyes at the women who moved in front of her. I know he has to be with multiple women due to the CRA Act, but I refuse to give any of his firsts to any other girl. He was mine first, so I am the one he will be with first. She thought, annoyed, seeing as she dreamed of being with her crush and doing various things with him. So, momentarily forgetting about her shyness, Hinata quickly went up to her blushing boyfriend and latched onto his arm. You mean Naru-kun doesn't like my appearance? She asks, looking him in the eyes, pouting cutely with tears beginning to form at the corner of her eyes. Course thanks to her doing this with only a thin towel on, he could easily feel the softness of her breasts on his arm as he tried his best not to get a bloody nose. No Hinata-chan, I love everything about you. Naruto told her, still blushing even as she smiled and kissed him on the lips as she pressed herself even closer to her lover. And of course, Naruto's natural reaction was to wrap his arms around her waist, bringing her as close as they possibly could be. Though said blonde was stunned even more when Hinata began to make their kiss much more passionate. Other girls. When Hinata moved in to do this, all girls present were shocked, even the bath's owner, seeing as they never expected the clearly shy girl to do anything like this. Well, Kur-chan, I guess you don't need to work on your adopted sister's shyness anymore. Enko told her friend after she got over her own shock. Though she needs to working on her sharing skills if this is how she reacts to another girl simply trying to flirt with her man, especially because she knew it was just teasing. She added, smiling as she watched her younger friend kiss his girlfriend. For she would cheer him on for getting love after ages of abuse, especially seeing as it looks like he might be getting lucky pretty soon. Yeah, it appears that even a shy Hyuga knows how to get her mate riled up. Hana adds, having no problem watching the moment, seeing as she knew that Hinata would want anything that happened, judging from the smell that was in the air. Course for both Yugao and the owner, they were simply blushing as they watched the kiss slowly turning into a scene that a certain perverted writer would create in his books. Though the only one who wasn't blushing at this was Kurenai herself, who refused to have her sister give away her first time to a boyfriend that she hardly even started to date. So, she quickly walked over to the young couple and pushed them away from each other. Course when she did this, both of said teens woke up from their trances and blushed heavily at what they just did and were about to do. In fact, Hinata's blush got so bad that she finally fainted with her face completely red. Though all could clearly see a smile plastered on her face. Now Naruto, you don't plan on trying to do anything else like that again until there is a ring on her finger, right? Kurenai asks, falsely sweet, causing the boy to shiver in fear. Hi Kurenai-sensei. Naruto told the older woman, hoping she would spare him from any torture she was thinking of giving him. Course he wasn't that lucky, seeing as Kurenai still was bringing her hands up to start the seals needed for one of her anti-pervert jutsus, or was, until she was stopped by Enko. Enko, let go of my hands. Kurenai told her friend, feeling that Naruto truly did deserve the punishment she had planned for him. Kurenai, you know as well as the rest of us that Hinata started their love fest. So, if you are going to try to punish one of the only people I can call a friend in this village, then I will have to stop you. Enko told her friend, completely serious. For Naruto was the only person that fully understood what was happening in her life when shit was at its worst. In fact, he was a major factor for her keeping as sane as she is. Course this statement caused Kurenai to look at Enko straight in the eyes for what felt like hours until she finally dropped her hands and mumbled a quick, fine. Now with all of the excitement finally done, all of them went off to get changed and were quickly walking back through the village, well except for the bath's owner, who went off to get stuff to fix her bath's wall with the money that Naruto gave her. But other than her, everyone else simply walked together to the Hyuga clan building, where they dropped of the still passed out Hinata to her caregivers that were given the doctor's note and instructions. Now Naruto told them that he could have done that himself, but at the moment Kurenai still refused to leave him alone with the girl, fearing they would do something. But after they left her in a place that would take care of her, they went their separate ways. Naruto. When Naruto left the rest of the group, he let go of a breath he held as soon as they were out of his line of sight. While Naruto liked the group simply because they helped out Enko, and he had to admit that if someone didn't act perverted around them, they were pretty nice. Though ever since Kurenai found out that Naruto started dating Hinata, she was always watching him. It seems to Naruto that she cared about Hinata almost as much as he did. In fact, it was a well-known fact Kurenai treated Hinata as her sister-daughter and was extremely protective of her. Which normally wouldn't be a problem, but because of this she never even let Naruto have a chance to befriend her, seeing as she was too busy watching his every move, which always made Naruto nervous. If he even accidentally did or said something she found to possibly hurt Hinata, he would be put under one of Kurenai's feared genjutsus. Man, now that I am dating Hinata, being around Kurenai-sensei is so nerve-wracking. I mean, one wrong move and I am going to be stuck in one of her genjutsu. And those things are known to put people into mental rehabilitation for weeks. And to make it worse, just as she was beginning to lower her guard around me, I had to let my control slip just for a moment and let that happen. Course it was nice. No, don't let the perverted thoughts corrupt you now. Naruto mentally yells at himself. Though he just couldn't bring himself to think that he didn't enjoy the brief moment he had with Hinata. Even if he had no idea what exactly caused that moment. Anyways, he was now simply walking around trying to find Ebisu to learn something else from the closet pervert when he heard a certain perverted giggle yet again coming from a nearby waterfall. So, he quickly went to investigate where it was coming from. When he got there, he saw a group of girls playing in the cold waters, but that wasn't where the giggles were coming from. No, they were coming from a nearby bush where Naruto saw Jiraiya yet again staring at women while he was laughing and writing something in his little notebook. Now this of course kind of got Naruto annoyed yet again, seeing as he was sure the girls who were having fun didn't want the pervert watching them, so he was going to get him caught, but before he even could, the girls left, leaving the older male to close his book and finally look over to Naruto. "Oi, Gaki, now that they are gone, tell me why the hell you couldn't have just let me finish my research. I mean, the ice queens of Konoha are the perfect subjects and you know how rare it is to catch them like that." The old man ranted, apparently still annoyed with Naruto. "Who are you to block me, the legendary Senin Jiraiya, from my research anyways?" Jiraiya asks, looking at the blonde in front of him. "I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the newest clan head, and it is my duty to help my female friends from perverts like you," Naruto told him calmly. "Ha, Gaki, your pathetic attempts to stop my research isn't going to work, and I am not a pervert, I am a super pervert," he told Naruto, still acting goofy but had different things on his mind. "So, this is Naruto Well, I guess he turned out okay even if he isn't a pervert, still I guess now is a perfect time to make up for lost time. I mean, now that I have a break in my spying, I can finally be here for him like a godfather should be." He though slightly sad but quickly hid it behind his strange speech about the glories of his Ichiraku book series. "Bah, whatever, old man, just don't try to peek on the people I care about," Naruto tells him angrily. "Stop calling me an old man, Gaki, I am still in the best years of my life," Jiraiya told him. "Oh, whatever, Arrow Senin. In fact, why the hell are you even a Senin? So far all you seem to be known for is peeking on women." "Gaki, I am a Senin because I am one of the strongest ninja in Konoha. In fact, probably right now the only ninja in the village who is even close to my level would be Hiruzen sensei." Naruto clearly proud of himself. Course Naruto just stared at him, not truly believing what he said. So, Naruto quickly brought his hands up and did a jutsu that he never thought he would use again. Oroku no Jutsu. And within seconds Jiraiya was propelled backwards with a massive nosebleed. "And I just beat a Senin," Naruto thought, trying hard to not laugh. "Oi, Gaki, show me that again," Jiraiya ordered Naruto with a big smile on his face. "No. Oh, come on, it will be for a good cause. No. Please. No. Fine, how about this? You are in the Chunin exams, right? Yay. Well then, how about I train you for the month you have?" Jiraiya offers, hoping he would take it. After all, if it wasn't for my spy network I would have started his training ages ago, Jiraiya thought sadly. Course when he offered this, Naruto didn't respond immediately, seeing as he had to think about, seeing as being trained by a Senin is something that many ninja only dream about. "Okay," Naruto told him in the end, figuring that anything would be better than training under Ebisu. "There is only one thing you need to do for me to help you by making you an amazing ninja." "What? You have to use that jutsu the whole time?" Jiraiya asks with a lecherous smile on his face. Course this just made Naruto stare blankly at Jiraiya for a moment before simply beginning to walk away, shocking Jiraiya. "Wait, Gaki, I was just kidding," Jiraiya quickly told Naruto as he ran towards the boy who was still walking away. Ice Queens. After the girls separated from Naruto, they quickly went to one of their favorite hangout places, the Dango Bar. So, after they all ordered, they simply sat down and simply enjoyed the day, or at least tried to, seeing as Kurenai was still fuming. "Kur-chan, for the last time, let it go. They are dating, it is going to happen," Enko told her friend, trying to get her over it already. "No, I will not get over it. I mean, they shouldn't be doing stuff like that until they are married. And besides, I am sure that Hinata only meant for it to be a loving kiss. It had to have been Naruto that brought it to the next level. Though I guess it is to be expected from a male. I mean, all males only ever want is to try to get into a girl's pants." Kurenai told her friends, refusing to forgive Naruto for trying to pressure Hinata to do perverted things. Kurenai-chan, I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but Hinata really did know exactly what she was doing, and if my sense of smell didn't fail me, she was getting into it just as much as Naruto was. Hana told her, causing Kurenai just to get even more annoyed. Course this just made Enko's sweat drop slightly. Well, I have to say that those kids' relationship will be an interesting one. Course after she had a small chuckle over this thought, Enko instantly began to let her mind wander to other subjects. Anyways, Kur-chan, can you tell me who the note sender was now? Enko asks her friend for the 100th time, hoping that she would slip up and tell her in her rage. No, Enko, I already told you that secret stays with me. Kurenai told her childish friend. Oh come on, at least give me a hint. Enko begged. Fine, but these are the only hints you will be getting. Kurenai told her simply to try and stop Enko from begging to be told every time they saw each other. Hint 1, the writer was a male. Hint 2, he isn't your average ninja. Kurenai told her quickly, then took a sip of her sake. Now who could that be? Not a normal ninja. So guy maybe. No, he couldn't possibly be that sneaky. Even with hints it could practically be anyone. Enko thought as she ate stick after stick of dango, subconsciously bringing her favorite food to her mouth. Course she wasn't the only one who was trying to find out. For both Yugao and Hana were trying to figure it out as well, seeing as they wanted to know who the kind person was that helped their troubled friend get some happiness in her life. Which of course meant that they were quiet for some time, simply thinking about their own things while they enjoyed the company of their friends and good food. Hinata. When Hinata finally woke up from her fainting spell, she was surprised to find herself in her own room. But her caretakers quickly filled her in. She simply sat down and relaxed like she was told to. Now that she cooled off, she simply listened to her caregivers as they fretted over her. For ever since her mother died, the two older women, Hikari, and one middle, aged Hyuga, were the only people to ever treat her like a normal person rather than as the heiress. And due to that, she cared about them more than a lot of people, except for her Naruto, of course. With the peace, she had the time to go over what just happened in more detail and blushed heavily as she did. This was also enough to cause a bit of blood to leak from her nose. For she couldn't get the memory of Naruto pressed firmly against her out of her head. Sadly, her caregivers saw this and giggled a bit. Oh, Hinata-chan is someone thinking indecent thoughts about her blonde boyfriend. Hikari asks the girl, causing her to let out a loud eep of embarrassment and hid herself under her bed's blankets. Course who can blame her? After all, now that he isn't hiding all of that muscle, he does look very good. Who knows, maybe he will need a few caretakers after the Chunin exam, then we all can make sure that all parts of him are well taken care of. Hikari told the group, now with her nose bleeding as much as Hinata's was. Course the two older women just shook their heads at the two younger girls' fantasies, but left them to it, seeing as they knew that Hinata was completely in love with the young man and Hikari had what they thought was a crush on the boy. Besides, Hinata needed to relax, and what is a better way for her to rest than dreaming, even if it was a perverted fantasy. Chapter 12. While Naruto was meeting his newest sensei, Sasuke already was making a decent amount of progress in learning a new jutsu from Kakashi. Or was until his chakra started to get dangerously low, making him have to take a break. He was just getting back from when all of a sudden, he was caught by a snake quickly wrapping itself around his body. What the hell? Sasuke quickly yells out, annoyed and surprised, but then began to struggle to free himself. Though he only tried to escape for a few seconds before a pale figure came out of the ground in front of Sasuke. Hello Sasuke-kun. The pale man greeted the still trapped boy. Free me from this. Sasuke ordered the pale man, feeling no need to be polite. Now I can't do that, Sasuke-kun. Not while you are being held back by Konoha. For even if they are letting you get a bit stronger, they will never get you to the point you need to be to kill your brother. After all, he was one of their best, even though he mostly trained himself. But I assure you that a legendary Sannin like me would easily be able to train you to be stronger than Itachi could even imagine being. And all you have to do is leave this village and come with me to my village. The pale man told Sasuke, then released the boy from the snake's hold. Course after he did this, Sasuke began to walk back to his home to prepare for his journey when the man stopped him. Not now, Sasuke-kun. I will send a team to pick you up after the Chunin exam so I can see what skills you already possess. So, for now, train hard and take any of Konoha's strong jutsus when you can, but know that your true sensei, Orochimaru will be watching from the shadows. Orochimaru tells Sasuke, who nods understanding him but soon after screams in pain as his neck was bit. Take this, my elite soldier's mark, as a taste of the power I will be giving you. Orochimaru adds, then quickly disappears into the ground as Sasuke passes out due to the pain. Meanwhile Orochimaru reappears in the shadow of a nearby tree. Lord Orochimaru, if you were going to give him a mark and just leave him, why did you not just give it to him in the forest of death? Kabuto, Orochimaru's right-hand man, asks, clearly curious. Because Kabuto, if I did that then the forest would have probably killed him if the seal didn't, thanks to his team. For I know that I would have probably had to knock out Sasuke with the curse mark and Naruto with some seal. So, all they would have to protect themselves from the forest would have been the weak pink-haired girl. Also, I would have had to give away the secret that I am here due to all the extra chakra I would have had to use. And also, now we can clearly see the results of the seal as it happens. Orochimaru explains to the boy, who nods his head showing that he understood, and they both used jutsus to hide themselves and simply watched over Sasuke's still knocked out body. Course eventually the day gave way to night and they had to bring Sasuke's still knocked out body to his house while still making sure that no one saw them. So, in the end Sasuke unknowingly had two older men hidden in his room watching him as he slept through the night, one of which wanted his body. Meanwhile Kakashi read his book in their training area until the evening, not even noticing the time pass until it became dark. It seems Sasuke-san couldn't regain enough chakra to train more today, just as I thought. He must be sleeping off a mild case of chakra exhaustion by now. He thought, putting his book away, not at all worried about the broody teen. Naruto, same evening. Jiraiya eventually managed to get Naruto to listen to him after promising to pay for his ramen. Now, of course, after Naruto's 6th bowl he was starting to regret his decision, but seeing as he was rich enough to basically buy his own village, he found it a worthy cause to use money to try and fill the bottomless pit Naruto called a stomach. Course he didn't actually get to talk to Naruto too much until Naruto started slowing down at his 10th bowl. So, Ero-sennin, you still want to help me train for the exams? Naruto asks, seeing as he already told Jiraiya that he would never use that jutsu again. Yay, Gakkai the mighty Sannin, Jiraiya will be training you for the whole month so that you can kick ass. Jiraiya told Naruto happily. Okay, then Ero-sensei, let's start training, or at least start tomorrow, seeing as it is a bit late even for me. Naruto told Jiraiya in between mouthfuls of ramen. Yup, starting tomorrow around 10 AM we will go through tons of good stuff. Like some taijutsu, ninjutsus, and most importantly I will make sure you begin to appreciate the work I do on my books. Jiraiya told him, handing Naruto an Ichiraku book. Course Naruto didn't have it in his hand for too long before a cleaver slammed into the book, making a surprised Naruto drop it, letting the cleaver slam it down to the table. After the shock wore off, both males looked up at the attacker and saw Ayame with a falsely sweet smile on her face. I hope you didn't plan on reading books like that, Naruto-kun. She told Naruto with a sinister aurora around her that caused said boy to sweat a bit, but thankfully she turned the full power of the look over to Jiraiya and seemed to almost increase the intensity of it. And I hope that you didn't plan on turning him into a pervert, Jiraiya-sama, she told the old man, making sure to still give the proper respect to the sennin. No, I would never do that. Jiraiya lied to the girl, simply trying to get her to stop giving him the aurora of death treatment that all angry girls seem to automatically know. Though seeing as I need to use his CRA as a new series, one will have to bring him to my side eventually. Jiraiya mumbled out afterward, quiet enough so that she wouldn't hear him, but sadly she still was glaring at him. Course this whole time Aem's father was simply watching with a chuckle, seeing as he already knew of Ayame's crush on his blonde customer and knew he would treat her right. So, rather than be mad at the fact that a man might take his little girl away from him, he simply got to laugh at the fact that Ayame is trying to keep him as the perfect boyfriend she imagines he is. Meaning that he has to be kind, caring, and most of all not a pervert, and the only one she ever has to worry about is him turning into a pervert. After all, even after all the boy had gone through, he still seems to truly enjoy doing the right thing. Course after Ayame's attack on the perverted book was over, the meal was basically done, so Naruto and Jiraiya left and went their separate ways, well after Jiraiya paid for the 30+ bowls of ramen that Naruto ate. Minato, I may not have been the best person to pick as Naruto's godfather, and I know that I failed my duties for his childhood, but I plan on doing everything I can to help him now that I am around him. So, I will help him become the ninja that both you and Kushina would want him to be, though I still am going to make him a pervert. I mean, just because I failed with you doesn't mean that I will with your son. After all, he already has the CRA, meaning that he can flirt and have sex with as many girls as he wants, well, and not be looked at as a complete player anyways. Still, I have no doubt that his life story will make me millions when I implement him into a new series. The Lustful Ninja and His Kunoichi, Book 1-5. Jiraiya, though happily talking to both himself and a mental image of his dead student as he walked to his base of operations that was in Konoha, which basically was what he used as a house. Just because he wouldn't be in the village enough to truly enjoy the pleasure of simply living in one location, so if he got a house most of the time it would just collect dust. Naruto. When Naruto finally got home, he was exhausted and just wanted to go to bed, but that went away fast when something pieced the wall next to him as soon as he closed the door to his house. Naruto-sama, why were you gone all day and didn't even attempt to notify me? I mean, just because my goal is simply to help you doesn't mean you can just not let me know what is going on. Haku told Naruto, giving off the same aura as Ayame did. After all, I haven't really seen you too much since the test started, well, when you weren't ready to kill anything that breathed anyways, Haku told him, seeing as she did miss seeing him when he was at the test, which was only increased seeing as she was worried about his well-being. In fact, this worry kept her from truly relaxing for the entire test. So, she was ready to simply spend a day with her master as soon as she could, meaning the fact that she didn't see him at all until at night even more infuriating. Sorry Haku-chan, I just had a lot going on today. Naruto told her, a bit afraid but truly sorry that he didn't even think about checking up on Haku. I really should have thought about how nervous you must have felt throughout the test, but yet I didn't even think about it. Please forgive me Haku-chan. Naruto told her, feeling extremely bad and knew he had to make it up to her. I know I will spend all the time I am not training with my sensei tomorrow with you, and the first free day that both of us get we will spend together to make up for today, okay? Naruto asks, practically begging her to say it would be okay with his expression. Now that expression alone was able to melt away the girl's anger rather quickly as she thought about his offer course that made a blush form on her face. A free day of with Naruto-sama. All the stuff we could do, like ADD date or something. Maybe a nice meal or a walk through nature or... Haku began thinking, completely forgetting about her rage as she planned a day with her master, leaving out some more perverse thoughts for when they were closer to each other. After all, they weren't even dating or anything, simply because Naruto is still very naive about girls even with them trying to fix it. Fine, Naruto-sama, I will forgive you if we do spend a full day together as soon as possible. Haku told her roommate crush. Thank you Haku-chan, Naruto told her, smiling, then came up with another idea as well. Tell you what, you can even start calling me Naruto-san or kun instead of Sama. Naruto told her, hoping to trick her into stop calling him her master. Course, this just makes Haku look at Naruto for a few moments before responding. Why should I ever stop calling my master by his title? She asks him, partially serious and partially calling him Sama just to annoy him. But I am not, I already told you, whatever. Naruto mumbles out, deciding it wasn't worth trying to get her to change her mind, seeing as he had a good feeling that it was a worthless cause anyways. So, after their conversation was finally over, Naruto quickly took a shower to get the grim off of his body and went under his bed's covers wearing only his boxers. Plus 1 hour 10 minutes later plus. Naruto was still trying to fall asleep, seeing as while his mind was tired, his body still was filled with energy, like always. So, he was simply lying there waiting for sleep to take him when he heard the door open up. So, he instantly looked over to it and had a large blush quickly form upon his face. For even in the dark he could see Haku standing there in only her undergarments and a see-through nightgown. Haku-chan, what are you doing here? Naruto asks with the blush never leaving his face. I couldn't sleep Naruto-sama, I had a nightmare where you died out in that test and left me all alone. Haku told him. But Haku-chan, you know that I didn't, I mean I am right here. Naruto told her, trying not to look at her body too much. Yes, but what if this is all a dream? I mean, how do I know that this is real? She asks him looking worried. Course this just caused Naruto to sigh and motion her to come closer, and when she did Naruto surprised her by grabbing her waist and pulled her close to him and put her head on his chest. There, does this feel false to you? Naruto asked the now blushing girl. No, she told him, then snuggled closer to him causing them both to blush more. Good, then sleep well Haku-chan, Naruto told her, bringing the blanket over both of them, and tried to fall asleep, finding it easier now that he had Haku's body heat next to him, even if it was a bit less than normal people's. Ah, this is so comfortable, I could get used to this, Haku thought as she felt at peace listening to her crush's heartbeat. And the best part is that he is starting to let us in even more. She added happily, and then let Naruto's heartbeat lull her to sleep. Plus next morning plus. As birds' chirping voices were beginning to be heard through the wall, Haku began to wake up. Though when she did, she found that she didn't want to leave her warm bed or her comfortable pillow, seeing as she grew to love its heartbeat. Course when she realized this, she quickly tensed up until she remembered that she spent the night with Naruto and relaxed again. Course now that she was fully awake, she noticed the fact that she pressed herself as close to his side as she possibly could, and she also noticed that Naruto's arm came down around her, holding her firmly against himself even tighter. So, not looking a gift horse in the mouth, Haku began to simply enjoy where she was with a light blush on her happy face. Course this blush increased even more when she accidentally brushed her leg against Naruto's crotch and felt his hardness. Now she was contemplating, accidentally, checking his size until she noticed he was starting to wake up and quickly pretended to be asleep. So, when Naruto woke up, he instantly noticed not only that Haku was squished to his side but also due to the fact that he was hugging her extremely close to his side. But the thing that made him blush the most was realizing that one of Haku's legs was extremely close to his morning wood that refused to go away. Course the fact that he could feel her smooth and soft skin didn't help at all. Though he couldn't deny the fact that it was nice to be near one of the girls that were precious to him. Course even if it was someone that he held precious, he still was happy that she was asleep so that she wouldn't hurt him for the predicament they were in. After all, no matter why or who it was, girls tended to attack whatever put them in what they considered a perverse position. So, he quickly moved his hand and gently moved himself away from Haku so that there was some distance between them before gently shaking said girl's shoulder, trying to wake her up. Good morning Haku-chan, did you sleep well? Naruto told her after he woke her up. Course he was pretending that they never were in the predicament that he found himself in earlier, not knowing that she was the one who woke to it first. Yay, she told him, trying to hide the light blush of embarrassment she had, seeing as she nearly got caught looking at something that Naruto probably wouldn't want her to see, at least for a while if she had anything to say about it. Good, and I hope you don't get another dream like that ever again. But if you do, I promise that I will always be there to help you get over it, even if I have to crawl back from the depths of hell. Naruto told her, causing her to feel true happiness due to him saying that he would always be there for her. Thank you Naruto-sama. Now let's get ready for the day, shall we, seeing as you have training to prep for. Haku told him, who nodded, and they both got out of bed, and after getting over the surprise of seeing each other nearly naked, they went to change, meaning that Haku had to leave to go to her side of the apartment. Man, thank God my boner finally went away before Haku-chan could see. I mean, that would have been just too embarrassing even for me. Naruto thought to himself, slightly surprised about the last part, seeing as he tried to never get embarrassed. Still, after this quick mental rant was over, Naruto quickly got changed and left his room to wait for Haku to be done and to cook breakfast. Meanwhile, Haku was in her own room happily getting changed while she was thinking about what happened as well. Ah, that was nice. Not only did Master seem to enjoy my company, but I also got to at least enter his bed. And with that first step done, he is on his way to being willing to play around a bit later on. Then he will be the perfect boyfriend for me. Well, for any girl really, but hopefully I get added to my master's plans, she thought, hoping that Naruto would pick her as well. Now, while she wasn't exactly a pervert, she, like most girls, had several ideas about the perfect husband, and sex was one of the factors that most people took into consideration. After all, if you have to stay with them, you want to make sure that they can please you in all ways. Anyways, after they both were dressed, they ended up sitting at a table waiting for one of Naruto's clones to bring them breakfast, seeing as the blonde apparently got fed up with waiting for her to cook. Course when it finally came up to them it was several cups of instant ramen which made Haku just stare in disbelief at both the Naruto she was sitting next to and also the one putting the cups onto the table. Naruto-sama, you do realize that ramen isn't a breakfast food, right? Haku asks Naruto, surprised by his choice. Course while she asks this, Naruto was already happily eating the 8 bowls. He had the clone make, leaving the last 2 for Haku, seeing as he knew that she wouldn't eat as many as he would. Why not? Ramen is Kami's food, meaning that it is good enough to eat at any time. Naruto told her like it should have been the most obvious fact in the world. Now this surprised said girl, seeing as she knew he had an addiction but didn't think that it was that bad. Is this really all you ever eat? Yay, most of the time. But how do you get enough nutrients from just that? I guess from my bloodline maybe, or maybe because of my seal. Okay Naruto-sama, even though you are training for the Chunin exams you will spend some time each day learning about how to eat right and cook stuff other than ramen. Haku told the kid, who looked devastated. But can't I just have ramen? No. I thought that I was the master here. You are, but I will not have my master die just because he didn't take care of himself. I mean, just think, how would your precious people feel if you got sick or something because you didn't eat right? Fine, I will try to eat better, I guess. Naruto told her, upset but at least understanding her point. And with that being finally decided, Haku left to cook a good breakfast while Naruto ate the rest of the ramen, not wanting to waste any of it. Basically, although I have Naruto act differently, it is only when he is serious or it is an important time. Other than that, he will be a bit goofy just because no one can hate a lovable goofball. Also, all the Judas Naruto made and all the experiences he had before the Land of Wave mission is the same, although it won't really matter all that much except for Konohamaru and the group, because ya gotta love the annoying brats. After Haku's healthier breakfast. When both of them were done eating, Naruto left the house explaining that he needed to restock his equipment for any possible training that he would be getting in only a few hours, which of course reminded him to tell her that he was going to be off training for an undetermined amount of time. Course when he left, Haku found herself with nothing to do, seeing as she had already cleaned and didn't have to work, so she decided to simply find one of the girls she was introduced to and hang out with them, seeing as she still wasn't completely used to having the ability to relax for a while, seeing as she was on the run for basically all of her life and because she didn't have a mother figure to copy habits from like most girls. So, she basically was trying to teach herself how to relax and have fun like a normal girl, seeing as all she knew to do with her time always had an importance to them rather than for enjoyment. Cleaning, cooking, training, etc. Hyuga clan. After getting through the gate, Haku instantly felt something watching her, but she simply ignored it, seeing as she did come unannounced to a major clan. So, instead of worrying about the guard that had to be following her, she simply went to see the person she wanted to. So, she quickly went to said person's room, knocked before finally entering after being allowed in. Hello Hinata. She greeted her friend who was still stuck in her bed recovering while 3 women sat around her. Oh, hey Haku-san, what brings you here? Hinata responds, even now a bit shyly. Nothing much, just came to see one of my few friends in Konoha, seeing as I have a day off and nothing to do. Haku told the girl truthfully. Ah, I see, but come on, you have to have something that you want to do. Hinata told the girl, shocked that Haku had no idea what to do with a day off, even if she was grateful for the girl visiting her. No, besides checking up on you, I have no idea what I want to do. I mean, I don't have to cook, the cleaning is all done, and I still can't train in regular ninja arts other than to keep in shape for a while. Haku told her friend. Well then, if your work is all done, then maybe you should find a hobby or something. A hobby? Might as well, so what would you suggest? Haku asks her friend. Course this made Hinata briefly think of her old hobby of stalking, watching over Naruto, causing her to blush a bit. Well, just do something that brings you happiness. Like Ino enjoys flowers and gardens, Tenten likes weapons and forges weapons, sharpens weapons, even Sakura likes knowledge and reads. Basically just find one of the things that make you happy and do something that involves it. Hinata explains, yet still carefully leaving out one of her more secretive hobbies. Something I like, Haku then mumbles, thinking for a few moments before putting it to the back of her mind and simply visited for a bit. Now of course halfway through this, Naruto showed up as well, just to check up on his girlfriend and to spend some time with her during a break in training. Though their time was wrecked when Neji was brought up by one of Hinata's caregivers due to an accidental slip of the tongue. I still say I should just kill that bastard. Naruto growled out, still annoyed. Naruto-kun, you promised that, Hinata told Naruto until he interrupted her. I know I promised not to. But he almost killed my Harem. I can't just let him get away with it. Naruto told her, making Hinata blush at Naruto calling her his princess. Though she did also notice Haku's brief glare at her that was filled with jealousy, though it was hidden almost as quickly as it appeared. I have to at least punish him for what he has done, so what do you suggest I do? Besides beating the tar out of him, of course. Naruto asked his girlfriend, who just barely put her thoughts about Haku aside just in time to hear him. Well, Naru-kun, I think just beating him would be enough if you really feel the need to punish him. Just don't hurt him too badly, please, he is family. Hinata told Naruto, who was momentarily shocked. Hinata, just because he is your family doesn't mean he can automatically be forgiven. In fact, it means that he shouldn't have done it in the first place. Naruto told her, completely believing his own words, seeing as it was basically partially a part of his own code of life. Yeah, I suppose you were right, though he had to have some reason too. After all, the main and branch family never have been really on good terms. With the branch being basically slaves after all, well, at least until I can change that. Hinata explains, frowning due to the way her family works, which was one of the reasons she had a dream of fixing it. Bah, even if the family is at each other's throats, he still shouldn't have a good reason to hurt my Harem. Naruto told her, still annoyed, seeing as he believed that no one should be allowed to hurt his girlfriend no matter what the reason. Course, after Naruto told them this, he finally looked over at the clock and saw that it was about time for him to meet back with Jiraiya. Well, sorry to say it, but I have to go now. See you gals later. Naruto told them, giving Hinata a kiss on the cheek, then quickly left to find his teacher, leaving Hinata behind, who was blushing quite a bit. Well, looks like someone brought their relationship to the next level, Hikari told the group, giggling due to Hinata's reaction. Course, this passed after about a minute and Hinata managed to recover from her blush after several deep breaths. Okay Hikari, sorry, Hikari, can you please leave the room for a few moments? I wish to talk to Haku-san privately for a moment, Hinata told the three women, who respectfully did as she asked. Now Haku, you love Naruto-kun, don't you? Hinata asks her friend, though it sounded more like a statement than a question. Hi, Haku nervously answered, knowing she was caught. Course, this soon turned into shock when she heard Hinata's next statement. Then why don't you go try to get him? I mean, we both know he is in the CRA program and has to be with several girls. So, as long as the girls like him for him rather than for his clan or something else he has, then I am okay with them trying to get Naruto-kun's attention, though I want all of his first times. Hinata told the girl, not wanting anyone else to take the special bonding moments that she felt was destined to happen between them. Sigh. Yeah, I guess you were right. I mean, the worst thing that could happen would simply be him not returning the feelings, but then he still would be my master and me his slave, though it would be nice to be his mistress. Haku added in with a small smile, already thinking of Hinata as Naruto's true wife and her as the mistress. Seeing as she never was anything but submissive, after all she calls the boy her master. Course, what neither of the girls realized was that there was another girl listening in on their conversation. Hanabi, outside Hinata's door. What does sis and this other girl see in this one boy? This requires more research, starting with finding exactly why Hinata-Nisan loves this guy so much, even though he can and will cheat on her. Hanabi thought, then quickly left to look for information on her new subject of interest. Chapter 13. When Naruto finally made it to where Jiraiya told him to meet, he found the old pervert looking farther up the beach they were on, where the same girls from before were yet again enjoying the cool river water, while Naruto's newest sensei watched them, giggling perversely as he wrote in his notebook yet again. Eros Senin, you do realize that they are basically a fourth of your age, right? Naruto asks the old man. Yeah, of course they are. After all, not many people age as gracefully as I do. So, basically I have to watch them, seeing as the girls my age are just too wrinkly to give me any good research. Jiraiya told Naruto, almost sounding like he partially blamed his research, using young women on the fact that people didn't age as well as he could. First off, that just sounded like a cheap excuse, and second of all, don't you still have a teammate that still is a Konoha ninja? Naruto asks. Yeah, but she doesn't let me use her for research. I wonder why. Naruto sarcastically told his sensei. Course after that he simply decided to drop the conversation seeing as he actually wanted to train more before the day ended. So, what are we going to for training? Naruto asked, causing Jiraiya to smile slightly again. Well Naruto, you are about to experience the joys of seals firsthand. Jiraiya tells Naruto with a slightly evil smirk on his face. Minato Gaki, I am so hoping that he has your sealing skills and his mother's accelerated healing, or else this month of training might not bring him to be as strong as I would like. Jiraiya thinks to himself as he gets ready for his plan to begin. Yes, I know that he heals because of Kurama, but really I am just going to say that the Uzumaki also heal quickly themselves, seeing as people constantly use it, and it makes sense. After all, how does someone survive the releasing of their tailed beast even if it only lasted like a minute? She still lived on while Gaara died instantly. Course after he said this, he quickly brought out ink and a brush and told Naruto to strip down to his boxers and quickly began to put seals upon Naruto's body. Okay Gaki, these seals will be your main way to train for the next month. For using these seals your body is weighed down just enough so that it is just above your max so that you constantly have to work your muscles. Now I expect you to use this constantly except for when you are sleeping so we can build up your strength. Now normally I would put a chakra suppressor of some sort to build up your chakra reserves, but for obvious reasons that would be useless for someone like you who has cage level reserves already. Jiraiya explained to a nodding Naruto. Now for the rest of your training, what do you think we should work on? He asked, already planning several things to teach him but wanted to know if he would have to add anything. Well I know my chakra control needs work, so I can use my bloodline more proficiently and maybe adding some elemental control as well. Naruto told Jiraiya, already knowing that he would need some more long-range attacks seeing as both Neji was a strong short-range fighter and that Gaara would be dangerous if that sand managed to grab him. Okay then Gaki, I will set up a plan to get you stronger in those fields and more tomorrow by tomorrow. Though for the rest of today just do this workout and get used to it, for it will be basically a daily thing for you. Though for today I will make it a bit harder seeing as it will be the only thing you will do for the rest of Toti so we don't waste the rest of the day. Jiraiya told Naruto, who nodded, then took the scroll and began the plan as Jiraiya went back to his research, though he made sure he had a clone watching Naruto's progress as well. Course he wasn't the only one. In bushes opposite side of clearing . Hanabi was quietly watching over her sister's boyfriend as he was training without using her bloodline seeing as she was close enough to see him anyways. Currently she was simply trying to find out why Hinata liked him so much, and so far, she actually saw at least some reasons. For right when she showed up she saw him in only his boxers and instantly had a blush on her face seeing as this was her first time seeing a nearly naked male body. In fact, even though she was young she found herself simply staring at his chest that seemed to be perfectly sculpted in her option. Though yet again due to her age she didn't think of looking much lower other than to see his sculpted legs. Still she was extremely confused as to why they were being drawn on until the old man explained it. And of course, after Jiraiya explained this she wanted them for herself so that she could become a better ninja herself. But after momentarily thinking about that she simply spent the rest of her time watching him do various muscle building exercises until she finally decided to leave to go back home, now understanding why Hinata liked him so much, though she still didn't exactly like the fact that he was dating several girls at the same time. Plus a few hours later Naruto was now sweating and breathing heavily now that even his extreme stamina was finished as he pushed himself past his limit and was clearly completely exhausted for the day. Still he tried to push himself further until he was stopped by his teacher. Naruto, pushing yourself further won't do any good for your body. Stop for today, though seeing as you are so eager to learn I will work with you on the art of Fuinjutsu and simply try to get you as far as I can in the study. We will work on this line of study for a couple of hours after we finish each day. Jiraiya tells Naruto, then has him sit down next to him as he tested how far Naruto was in seals already. And that is what they did until the sun began to set, ending their training session. Hyuga clan property. Seeing as it was still only around 9 o'clock Naruto decided to check up on Hinata. So, after taking a shower to clean the sweat and grim off of his body, then after talking with Haku for a couple of minutes he walked calmly to Hinata's clan compound. He already was well aware of where their place was, seeing as he has gone there a few times in the past, making the trip boring enough that he let his mind wander until he reached their gate. He then quickly was granted the ability to enter and quickly went to Hinata's room and instantly had a smile grow upon his face as he hugged her. Course he did make sure to be gentle enough to make sure he didn't injure her already healing body. "So, how was your day, Hina-hime?" Naruto asks his girlfriend happily, who pouts slightly. "Naru-kun, it is so boring to not be able to do basically anything all day. I mean, while my caretakers are trying to entertain me, it just isn't enough. I mean, I can't even do my favorite hobby, though Kurenai-sensei did help cure some of my boredom with that trip to the hot spring." Hinata complained but blushed after saying the last part. "Oh, well, is there anything I could do to help you?" Naruto asked, hoping he could help somehow. "Yes, you can, Naruto, if you just let me." "No, wait, push those thoughts away for now." He didn't know what he was implying. Hinata thought, blushing, while Naruto just stared at her confused. I wish I could just have him be a bit more understanding about relationships. I mean, while I love him with all my heart, the fact that I will have to explain every fun activity we can do is going to be annoying. Man, I hate the villagers for not allowing him to understand the idea of being loved completely. Hinata thought, annoyed, but didn't let it show on her face so Naruto wouldn't notice. "Well, Naru-kun, if you really want to help me, I guess getting some books to read and maybe some sewing supplies, seeing as I am going to be here for like a week." Hinata tells her love, simply deciding to do some reading and sewing simply because it would pass the time even if they weren't her favorite things to do. Still, Naruto nodded his head and gave her a salute, then simply said his goodbyes, seeing as it was time for Hinata to get some sleep. Though he did promise to bring her what she asked for as soon as he could before leaving to go back home. Naruto's Haku's apartment. When Naruto finally made it home again, he quickly looked around and was surprised to see that Haku wasn't there, seeing as she was usually home by then. Course he wasn't too worried, seeing as she was still a trained ninja. Still, he wanted to make sure she wasn't in trouble, so he decided to look around a bit to see if he could find her. So, after searching for a little while, he ended up finding Haku sitting on the roof of their apartment. "Hey Haku-chan, what are you doing up here?" Naruto asks, curious, as he sits down next to the girl with his legs dangling from the edge of the roof. Oh, I just was thinking for a while, seeing as I have a lot on my mind." Haku answered truthfully. "Anything you want to tell me about?" Naruto asks, wanting to help one of his precious people. Course this just caused Haku to remain silent for a few moments, simply thinking. "Naruto, what do you think of me?" Haku finally asks, deciding just to go directly to what she was worried about the most. "Well, Haku-chan, you are one of my precious people, of course I care about you very much." Naruto told her, not completely understanding what she meant and why she was asking. "No, I mean, do you like me?" "Yes, of course I like you. I mean, you are one of my friends." "No, I mean, do you like me?" she asked him, deciding to simply get to the point and hope for the best, though she couldn't help but not be able to say the word love out loud. "What? Didn't I just say that I liked you?" Naruto asks, completely confused. "Do you love me?" Haku ends up asking, figuring that if she said it anyway else he wouldn't understand. Course now that he finally did understand what she was asking, he went quiet, actually thinking before he answered. "Do I love her? I mean, I know that I care about her very much, but is that just because she is a friend or because of love? I just don't know. She really is always there for me, and I do actually like that, seeing as she was the second person to actually know all about me and still accept me completely. Though on the other hand, she still calls me master even though I tell her not to. Why does this have to be so confusing?" Naruto complained to himself, completely confused as to what he truly felt, seeing as he was still relatively new to even knowing what they were. "Just go for it, kid," Naruto in his confusion heard in his head. "Kyuubi, why are you talking to me now?" Naruto asked, confused. "Well, kid, this human girl is actually looking pretty good, for a human. I don't want to just say I love her because she looks good. I need to know that we both would love each other and everything about each other. Kid, just take her already. I know you love her, seeing as you got worried when you didn't see her immediately when you expected her to be in your house, even though she is a highly trained ninja. Besides, you just heard that she loves you, seeing as she wouldn't have asked if she didn't. And seeing as I can partially feel what you do, the sooner you get laid the better it is for me. And I already know. That she was already basically giving you her body to you. This will make it happen much faster. Kyuubi adds mentally, seeing as he was desperate to feel sex from the male's point of view, seeing as his last two hosts were both female, leading to a horrifying experience that he desperately tried to forget about. Well, even if the fur ball is annoying, he does have a point. Yay, I might as well give her a chance, seeing as we both do at least have some feelings with each other. Naruto finished thinking with a shrug, though still mentally noted that he needs to figure out exactly how to know if you are in love and what to do when in relationships, seeing as he wanted to treat them all as best as he could, and right now he was only running on instinct with Hinata. Yes, Haku-chan, I love you. Naruto told her, causing her to smile, though the smile wavered slightly soon after. Now Naruto-sama, you aren't saying this just so that I don't feel sad, which I know you probably would do that. You actually love me, right? You really aren't, Haku began to ask, but was stopped by being slightly shocked by Naruto quickly bringing her into a tight hug. Yes, Haku-chan, I love you and everything about you, don't worry about that, for it won't change. Naruto told her, causing the girl to smile. But at least stop calling me master now, seeing as you are my girlfriend, not slave. Naruto told her, hoping it would work, seeing as while he got used to it, he didn't really wanting too many people thinking that he made his girlfriends serve him. Course this simply got a small smile from Haku and a quick kiss on the lips. We may be dating, Naruto, but that doesn't mean that Zabuza didn't make you my new master. She told him, clearly not planning on stopping anytime soon. Oh, come on Haku, he meant to order me to take care of you, not the other way around. Naruto told her as Haku decided to rest her head on Naruto's shoulder. Yeah, he told you to take care of me, but he took care of me for years and I still was his servant. Haku told him, refusing to become anything else but a servant to her master. Well, she was happy to be his girlfriend as well, but still she didn't want to lose her original status. Sigh, why are you so determined to be my glorified slave anyways? I mean, I know Zabuza trained you to be his human weapon, but now that you are in Konoha you could become anything you want. Hell, you could decide that you are sick of me and simply go find someone else to live with if you wanted to. Naruto told her while running his hand through her silky hair, not even realizing he was doing this as they looked to the sky to simply view outer space. Well, master, I know that most of this village doesn't like the idea of servants, but still it is all I know, and while I know I could learn to be anything else, I don't want to. I mean, if I left you and did that, I seriously doubt that I could meet anyone else in the world that is more of a perfect boyfriend and master than you. Besides, you have a clan now, shouldn't all clan members have caretakers in their homes? Actually, come to think of it, shouldn't you have some sort of clan house somewhere in this village as well? Haku asks, knowing that her first question gave her something to use as a reason to be a servant and the second one simply because she was curious herself. You know, I never even thought about the possibility that I would have an inheritance at all, let alone something that massive. I guess we will just have to ask the old man about it then. Though really for right now we probably wouldn't live in there yet, seeing as my focus needs to be completely on training for the exam when I am not spending time with my girlfriends. Plus, it would probably only be us living in there anyways, seeing as both Hinata and Ino have their own homes to live in. But anyways, let's not talk about that right now. Instead, how about we just enjoy the time we have right now, just as soon as you stop calling me master. Naruto told her with a small smile. Yay, it is nice tonight, master, Haku told him, giggling slightly at Naruto's pouting face before she simply relaxed with her head now on Naruto's lap as he still stroked her hair, barely even thinking about it. After their chat was done, they simply enjoyed each other's presence as they looked up at all of the interesting things in the night sky. And there they sat enjoying the night until Naruto heard a soft snoring sound coming from Haku, hinting that she fell asleep, making Naruto smile warmly at her sleeping form. Still, now that she was sleeping, Naruto decided to go back inside and quickly picked up the still sleeping Haku gently and walked back down the building stairs quietly until he reached their room, and then kept going until he reached her bed. He then set her down and put her blanket over her now sleeping form, though didn't take her clothes off, seeing as he didn't want to be considered a pervert, even if she told him otherwise when they first came in. Good night, Ice Heim, Naruto told her sleeping form and gave her a gentle kiss on the head before he went off to his own room to get some sleep as well. Course, what he didn't notice was the fact that Haku woke up from her sleep as soon as he touched her on the roof, seeing as she did have ninja training and was now smiling happily with a blush upon her face. He not only kissed me but also gave me a pet name. She thought extremely happy seeing as she knew that Naruto giving pet names was a sign of extreme care for said person, like Hinata and Gigi. Though she also did find it slightly interesting that Naruto seemed to almost immediately find a way to call each of his girlfriends princesses, which was a nice touch to have in a boyfriend as far as she was concerned. After all, what kind of girl wouldn't want to be treated like a princess? Plus next morning Naruto woke up earlier than normal even though he stayed up late just to make sure he could give Hinata the stuff she wanted as early as possible. The only problem was that he didn't really know what kind of books to get her. Thankfully he at least knew what to get for sewing, seeing as he actually had to learn how to do that himself. Still, he was at a loss as to what he should do for books, so he simply went out and got the supplies he knew she wanted and simply tried to figure out a way to find good books for a while as he worked. I need to find books for Hinata, but I just don't know what kind of books she would like. Man, I should have asked her what kind she would want. I mean, she probably doesn't want training books seeing as she can't use them, and all the other stuff I read I don't think girls would like too much. Wait, girls, I could simply ask another girl for help finding books girls want. Naruto realized happily and then went to Ino's family's store to see if she was up yet, seeing as he doubted Haku would know too much about it either. So, he happily entered the building to see his sort of girlfriend. "Hello, Ino-chan," Naruto called out happily when he saw her. "Good morning, Naruto-kun, why are you up so early?" Ino asks, knowing that she always woke up extremely early simply to enjoy some time before she had to work. "Well, I was kind of wondering if you would be willing to help me get a few books for Hinata to read, seeing as she is pretty much stuck in bed for a while and asked for some." "Please, Ino-chan, I need help, and as soon as we can get this stuff over to her, we can go do something fun together. I just don't want her to die of boredom, so please help me," Naruto begged her, hoping for some help. Sure, Naruto-kun, I will help you, if we can get some shopping done afterward until I have to work," Ino told him with a smile, seeing as going shopping with a guy she found attractive was one of her favorite things to do. Course she didn't have to wait long for Naruto's answer for long, seeing as Naruto quickly grabbed her hand and ran out of shop to go get the books, barely giving her enough time to lock the shop up before they were speeding down the shopping district until they finally reached the bookstore. "Okay, so let's find a few books for Hinata. By the way, thank you for the help, Ino-chan, I owe you one for this," Naruto told Ino happily. "You are welcome, Naruto-kun, but I already told you that you were taking me shopping after this as my reward," Ino told him, happy that she was able to help him even if it was to help him with another girlfriend. "Yay, but I would do that anyways seeing as you are my girlfriend. I owe you something else, and that could be anything you want," Naruto told her, knowing he owed her a lot for helping him like this. "Okay, then I guess I will save it for later," Ino told him, slightly surprised that he was willing to give her a favor that could be anything that she wanted, even if it was her boyfriend. Course after she said this, they simply looked around the store until Ino picked out several books that she thought Hinata would like and Naruto bought them. So, they then both took a quick walk over to where Hinata was still laying down at and gave her the stuff, which she thanked them for with a true smile. Course they didn't stay long, seeing as they had more shopping to do before Naruto went off to train. And, at this point, even if they are trying it out, mostly they are just going to be calling themselves boyfriend-girlfriend. Plus few hours later Naruto was still going around the shopping district with Ino and was now carrying several bags for her and bought quite a bit for her as well. Course they only could do this seeing as Ino's mother was watching the shop for Ino currently. "Man, Naruto-kun, are you sure that you are okay with spending all this money on me? I mean, I enjoy it and all, but don't you need to use it for other stuff as well?" Ino asks her boyfriend, hoping that he wasn't using money he needed for food or something. Course he just chuckled briefly at her concern. "Don't worry about that, Ino, I don't really spend a lot of money, so I have a good amount of money stored away from missions," Naruto told her with a small smile that was hiding the small amount of sadness that he felt. "Missions and the fact that I wasn't allowed to shop all that much until recently," he added, thinking of his childhood causing his misery. Which was a truly sad story for people that didn't know. In fact, it probably would wreck people's faith in humanity. Still, he didn't want any of his girls to know about that. Course after he told her this, she still felt slightly bad about using so much of his money, but still was also happy about knowing that her boyfriend was willing to spoil her, even though he had several other girlfriends as well. Plus evening before exam After a long month of training, Naruto now felt stronger than ever. For thanks to Jiraiya, he was better at almost all the ninja arts. For the only thing that was still extremely bad was his genjutsu, which was due to his chakra being too dense now thanks to his bloodline and the sheer amount he had. Still, he thankfully could sense and get out of all but the strongest genjutsu. Course because of this, after a few days Naruto spent most of the day training and only got to see his girlfriends for only brief periods of time. Also, he barely even had time to eat his favorite food, though he did end up spending a lot of time with Ayame, who was starting to act strange around him in his opinion. Though that was not what mattered for Naruto at the moment, all that mattered now was the rest of the exam until it was over anyways. Chunin exam. I know that hundreds of hopeful ninja were failed by you before, but I refuse to let you hinder my dreams for even a moment longer than necessary. Naruto thought confidently, then fell asleep dreaming about the fights he was about to get into. Chapter 14. The next morning Naruto woke up and quickly grabbed all of his equipment and strapped his sword to his back as soon as his normal morning activities were done. Then simply walked out of his house with his hands in his pockets. He then walked all the way to the arena, calmly ignoring all of the commotion that the stands outside of the arena were creating until he heard his name being called. Naruto. The voice called again, and when he looked he saw it was Ayame standing next her father behind a quickly built ramen stand. Hey Ayame Ni-chan, old man, how are you two doing today? Naruto asks, giving them a warm smile. Not bad Gaki, just doing some business while the chance is good. Tyuki told his favorite customer. Ah, then have fun while I fight to become a Chunin then. Naruto tells them, then began walking again before Ayame stopped him by grabbing his shoulder. What? Naruto began before being shocked by her leaning in and kissing him on the cheek, which he then places his hand upon, shocked. Good luck Naruto-kun, and hopefully that will bring you some more. Oh, and if you do good, I will have a present ready for you. She told the now blushing Naruto, who smiles and continues onto the arena. Course her doing this caused her father to look at her curiously but didn't say anything. I really do wish you good luck on your dreams for this exam, but I want you to also stay safe and come back to me so I can give you the gift I decided to give you, Naruto-kun. Ayame thinks to herself as she serves a bowl of ramen to a customer. In the arena. When he entered the arena, he quickly saw the massive amount of people in the viewing stands but quickly ignored them, using the practice he gained as a child, and instead looked over at the other competitors, who mostly all were looking around in awe at the people that came to see them fight. For Gaara seemed to ignore everything around him. Shino simply stood with his clan's usual calm demeanor, and Neji, who instantly was focused on Naruto. Though they were still missing Sasuke and apparently Kakashi, who didn't seem to be sitting with the other senseis. Course the most important people he saw were all present at the stadium as well. Sarutobi, his grandfather figure, Hinata, his shy love, Haku, his quiet love, and Ino, his social love, were all out there watching and rooting for him. I am not going to let you guys down. Naruto thought, determined, then walked to the group of competitors that was made now that they were simply waiting for the examiner. Though thankfully Genma didn't take too long to show up, in fact he was on time while they all were a bit early. Welcome to this year's Chunin exams. Now I will be your proctor for the third part of the exam. Now anything is allowed, but we would prefer if you don't kill each other. Genma explains to the contestants, then used a basic jutsu to increase his voice's volume. And now let us begin the Chunin exams. Will Naruto and Neji please stay down here and the rest go up to the waiting room? Genma told the crowd, who cheered as the both went to separate sides of the arena as Genma began their fight. Naruto, you might as well just surrender now. Fate has already decided that you will lose to me. Neji told Naruto, completely confident. First off, don't believe that fate crap, people. Make their own, and secondly just shut up and take your punishment for hurting Hinata. Naruto told him, already leaking out ki. Bah, she deserved it, you see you don't actually know about my clan. Neji told him, then took his headband off, showing a bird mark seal on his head. You see, if you in my clan, if you aren't born into the main branch of Hyuga, then you are forced into the second branch, which are like slaves to the main branch. And this seal makes it so that we have to, whether we like it or not. You see, you don't know about suffering. Neji told Naruto, but was then unnerved by the increase of ki that came from Naruto. I don't know suffering. I don't know suffering. My whole damn life was filled with nothing but suffering at the hands of this village. While you ate, had a good place to sleep, and had family. I had nothing. So, don't talk to me about suffering, for my seal caused me more suffering than anything you could possibly imagine, Naruto told him, very angry, but paused for a few moments to take a few breaths. But this isn't about me. This match is about revenge for Hinata, who you tried to kill even though she didn't use the seal against you. Naruto told him, still glaring at him. Oh, please, she didn't use it simply because she was told not to, probably to keep up the ruse that the main branch is so perfect. She just is a weakling that deserves to. Neji started, then truly started to feel fear when he felt the massive amount of ki that Naruto was releasing now. For before it was just a small amount, but now it was like he was seeing his own death appear in Naruto's now spinning eyes. No, they wanted her to use it and she didn't because she loved you like family. In fact, she wants to bring her family together if she can. But apparently you won't be able to see her plan come into action. Naruto told him, and quickly pulled his blade from his sheath and quickly charged at Neji, who managed to smirk even under Naruto's ki. You still are a fool for trying to fight a Hyuga from up close. Neji told Naruto, who still ran at him, not even hesitating at all, even with Neji's Byakugan blaring at him. So, soon enough he slashed his blade at Neji, who then tried to seal off a chakra point on his other shoulder, but Naruto moved to the side to dodge and then tried to cut Neji's arm, but he quickly pulled it out of the blade's reach. And this continued for several moments with neither one of them gaining any ground, which angered Neji. How the heck is a dead last you not dead on the floor yet? I am the one who is the elite from a strong clan. He asked Naruto, annoyed, though Naruto said nothing in return, which made him even more mad. Course this turned into shock when he got cut across the chest from a slash he thought he dogged. Your anger controls your thoughts too much. Stay with the fight, Naruto told him, seeing as while Naruto was angry as well, he actually focused it into focusing on trying to harm Neji rather than just blind hatred. Shut up, Neji told him, even more annoyed, then called out his next attack, 8 trigrams 64 palms, which shocked everyone. Now give up, seeing as you have no chakra to use. Neji orders Naruto after every single one of his attacks hit Naruto. Though he was surprised by the fact that Naruto wasn't launched away like people normally were, but shrugged it off to him, simply using his last bit of unsealed chakra to stick to the ground. I will never give up, Naruto yells at Neji while he looked to be barely standing up. Course this just made Neji shake his head left to right. Fine then, I guess I will have to just kill you and your pathetic dreams. Proving yet again that there is only fate that destines how people will do in life. Neji told Naruto cockily, then hit him in the heart, which caused all that knew Naruto to gasp in fear for said boy's life. Course Naruto himself didn't move away from the deadly attack that was coming toward him. But as soon as Neji was just about to hit, Naruto ducked out of the way and then used a blade of wind chakra that he formed at his fingertips to cut through Neji's arm muscle, disabling the arm. How are you able to still use chakra? Neji asks, shocked while clutching his injured arm that was now bleeding quite severely. Course this just made Naruto smile. You forget that I can make things out of chakra. Your blows hit my armor, making it disrupt the armor and not my actual chakra pathway, Naruto told him, showing that he deceived the young Hyuga. Arena viewing area. While this fight was going on, the rest of the Konoha 12 that weren't in the exam still were all watching, shocked. Man, they are really going all out on each other, aren't they? Kiba tells them, shocked. Well, Neji-san already has shown that he is willing to go to extremes to win, and Naruto-san has already shown that he has reason to go all out on him as well. Shino explains. Still, they shouldn't be going at each like they are trying to kill each other. Kiba says, annoyed, seeing as they were all supposed to be teammates, seeing as they were from the same village. And why not? I mean, Naruto has every right to be mad, seeing as he did try to kill Hinata. Ino told him, seeing as she and Hinata became close friends, seeing as they were both dating Naruto. Which should have caused them a bit of trouble, but simply because they both were well aware of how bad Naruto's life, they decided not to get jealous of each other, especially since Naruto made an effort to treat them all equally and to spend time with all of them, so they were happy with their relationship even if it wasn't commonly done. Yay, but still Hinata didn't want Naruto to kill him. Kiba insists. She doesn't, but with the way this is going they might just have to fight to the death, seeing as neither one of them wants to give up. Ino tells Kiba, seeing as she knew that Naruto wouldn't give up on one of his promises even if it killed him. Naruto-kun, Neji-san, Tenten thought worried seeing as while she disliked what Neji did he was still her teammate and Naruto was someone that she still was confused about at the moment. So, she didn't know who to hope to win. So, instead she just spent her time hoping that both of them would make it out of this fight alive. Arena. Why are you even fighting for a disgrace to the clan like Hinata anyway? She never will have the will to become what a Hyuga should. Neji told Naruto still clutching his injury. Oh, so you mean to say just because she is different she can't achieve her dreams? Naruto asks only to receive a nod in turn. But aren't you the same way? Naruto asks confusing Neji. I mean you don't listen to the every word of the main family but yet you instead hate them. So, you don't follow the norms either. In fact the only difference between the two of you is that her plan of uniting the families has a chance to work while yours will most likely just get you killed as a traitor. Naruto tells him making Neji growl. My hate for the main family is justified and I will get my revenge. Neji growls out not even bothering to keep his emotion hidden. Oh, sure it is, justified, but what can you do? I mean sure you could try to kill the family but then they would have an easy way of stopping you and then you would simply be forgotten without changing anything. Just no hate and rage will solve nothing. Naruto explains. What would you know about my problem? You have never had to deal with the problems that one stupid seal can cause. Neji tells him then freezes up for a moment at the sheer amount of ki that came down upon him. I know more than you ever will. For your seal effect only your family the seal I was forced to wear made the entire village despise me. You had it easy and never were tried to be killed simply because of your seal. This village gave me every reason to hate and despise it but instead I looked on the bright side and found people that could look past the seal on my skin. So, I will change this village's way for them and make it better for all when I become Hokage. After all, if I wallowed in the darkness and tried to get revenge, I would just have lost to them. For I would be alone and one single person can only do so much even if their goals are good. They still need help from others to achieve them, just like you do. But instead you tried to kill the one person that had even a small chance of helping you and the rest of your sealed family. Naruto tells him shocking Neji. Course Naruto took this moment of shock to go up and punch Neji's face hard enough to knock him into a wall several feet away. But that is enough of that, I promised to give you a beating for hurting one of my Harems and I will do just that. Naruto told him with his eyes cold and frozen again as he waited for Neji to stand up. And when he did their match continued though Neji didn't fight with his rage blinding him anymore due to Naruto's words meaning that they both were fighting to their fullest potential trying to win. Though in the end Neji found himself running into a net of chains when he tried to use the gentle fist on Naruto leaving him trapped in the chains just in front of Naruto. Remember my words, and just so you know your life was spared by the words of the very same person that you tried to kill. Naruto whispered to the trapped ninja shocking him then turned around and began to walk away as the chains turned green and began to move off of Neji. Though they now cut into his flesh with the wind chakra they were infused with leaving him as a bloody but yet still alive mess on the ground when they all finally came off. Winner Naruto Uzumaki. Genma called out slightly shocked himself surprised by the way just the first match went even as Naruto continued walking not even bothering to look back at Neji. Course what he didn't know was that even though they couldn't really hear the conversation that was going on seeing as they were far away from them both several of the civilians watching vowed to be nicer and more careful around Naruto so they wouldn't get hurt now that they saw what he was truly capable of. Equals with the rest of Konoha 12 equals. All of the group was shocked as to how the match ended with Tenten looking down at her fallen teammate with fear in her eyes thinking that the worst has happened. Course eventually they all noticed Hinata who came to sit by them about halfway through the match was smiling with her bloodline activated. Hey Hinata, are you actually happy that Naruto got revenge for you? Kiba asks his friend slightly surprised seeing as he knew Hinata as nothing but a kind and gentle soul. No, Kiba-kun, I am not happy about that. I am happy that Naruto kept his word. Neji is alive. Hinata tells him with her smile still on her face. What do you mean that someone could actually survive that? Sakura asks shocked. Yes Sakura, it is troublesome to say but with the way our village's medics can work Neji will probably be healed and ready for action again in a few days seeing as Naruto didn't seem to cut him too deeply. Shikamaru explains lazily. How is that not deep? I mean he is bleeding so badly. Sakura asks not believing that those injuries were the minor ones. Well, Sakura, those chains took a greenish color like Asuma-sensei's blades when he uses his wind chakra. Wind chakra that he already has. Shodas can cut through even solid stone easily when he was explaining chakra element. Choji explained, though left his bag of chips on his lap, not really finding the will to eat after watching what still was a gruesome attack. Well, even if that was him going easy, I am still glad that he didn't do that to me. Kiba tells the group, now putting Naruto as an alpha, seeing as he could have easily killed both him and his partner in one attack when they fought him. Skipping the rest of the fights, seeing as they are the same, I just wanted to try my luck at changing this fight up a bit. Soon enough after Gaara began his demonic transformation, as a massive genjutsu fell upon the arena, putting almost all of the people watching in a sleep-like state while the invasion began. So, soon the Hokage was forced into a barrier where he had to fight, and the rest of the village's ninja were fighting the sudden attack. Course for Naruto, he was in the forest fighting Gaara now by himself, seeing as the others were either incapacitated or busy somewhere else. Meaning that he stood alone with his blade in his hand, with Gaara standing in front of him with a sadistic grin on his face. "You will prove my existence," Gaara told Naruto in a voice that was already beginning to sound demonic. "Gaara, I know that you are a Jinchuriki. Well, so am I. Don't let it control you, control your urges." Naruto yelled at Gaara, knowing that due to the demonic chakra they constantly resist urges to kill, seeing as it gave them an automatic urge to kill thanks to an increase of yang chakra. Heard of yin and yang chakra from several other stories, and it makes a sense to add here, credit to whoever thought of it first. "Blood. Mother wants your blood," Gaara tells him, completely lost to his bloodlust. "Very well, if I have to fight you then," Naruto told him, tensing up. "Great, I am just going to guess by the way he was talking that has been completely controlled by his biju. Ah, this is exactly what Jiraiya was warning me not to let happen to myself. Now how to fix this?" Naruto thought, unsure of what his plan was exactly, but didn't have time to think about it, seeing as Gaara decided to send several balls of sand at him at high speeds, and Naruto had to quickly jump backwards to dodge them. Though before he could even try to attack himself, he had to dodge a massive sand hand launching at him at fast speeds, forcing him to stay on defensive. Course after his fight with Neji, his chakra was depleted a bit, so he simply used his mother's sword and a bit of wind chakra rather than making a chakra construct, seeing as he was pretty sure that he was going to need it later on in his fight with a possessed Gaara. So, soon enough he was dogging Gaara's attacks, which mainly involved swinging a limb coved with sand or several sand shuriken. Though after a while he managed to cut straight through one of Gaara's sand arms, making it drop to the ground behind him with a loud thud. Well, that is one problem dealt with. Naruto thought, slightly relieved, only to see it quickly dissolve into sand and slowly moved back towards Gaara. Never mind, this just got a lot more difficult. Naruto thought with a sigh, but soon brought his mind back to the fight. For while he thought Gaara's body got even more covered up by sand, meaning that now about 80% of his body was covered in sand, making him look even more demented. "Stop stalling and let mother feast upon your blood," Gaara called out, with his ki leaking out to an extent that even Temari was shivering in fear. "Man, this kid is a goner. I never have felt Gaara release this much ki at a simply person. This Naruto kid must be someone special for him to be so interested in killing him." Temari thought from her hiding spot in a bush. That was a good distance away, and then looked over at Naruto and was shocked. How is this kid not affected by this? He doesn't even look slightly afraid of Gaara. What kind of monster of a person does he have to be to fight Gaara's bloodlust state? She thought, slightly afraid of Naruto just for this fact. Course while she thought this, Naruto was thinking, still trying to get to Gaara, but couldn't think of any way that would actually work. Ah, this is so annoying. I guess I will just have to force him into submission, then work on his damn problem with his caged biju. Naruto thought, then rushed at Gaara with his mother's red blade glowing green around the edges. He then slashed at Gaara several times, cutting deep into the sand, but yet still not actually managing to hurt Gaara's own body. Damn, I was hoping to at least hurt him. Naruto mumbled out, annoyed with the sand. Still he didn't give up, but had to jump away when Gaara tried to seal him away into a massive dessert coffin. "Just hurry up and give your blood to mother. She makes it so that no one can hurt me, so just hurry up and die," Gaara told Naruto, ignoring what happened to him only a little while ago thanks to Sasuke. "Oh, so it is impenetrable Well, let's just test that," Naruto told him, then charged even more wind chakra into his blade. He then called out wind slash he called out deciding to use one of the first wind jutsus he learned and then slashed the air several times making a near invisible attack fly at Gaara. These slashes all hit Gaara's sand form seeing as he didn't even move and even if he did it wouldn't be too easy to dodge seeing as the sand weighed down the sand ninja. So, each of the blades hit the sand and blasted through it. In fact they cut deep enough to actually manage to cut into Gaara's flesh but not enough to do serious damage due to the amount of energy it took to cut through the dense sand. Still it was more than enough to make Gaara fear for his life seeing as he never got injured before. My blood. Gaara screamed out terrified and glared at Naruto. Mother wants your blood no matter what. Gaara told him with a crazed look on his face and began his own jutsu. Feigning sleep jutsu he called out then his head instantly dropped. What the hell? Why would he? Naruto thought confused until he felt the ground shake and tons of sand beginning to travel where Gaara was and quickly began to form a massive sand creature. I am free. Shukaku called happily while Naruto stared at him shocked. Well I have to say that I did not expect that. Naruto thought looking up at the giant mass of sand. Course his shock only lasted a few moments before he got ready to fight the creature the only way he could. So, he bit both of his thumbs and then slammed his palms onto the ground. Summing jutsu he called out causing a massive smoke cloud to appear as he used up a large chunk of his chakra into one single needed jutsu. Oi, Gaki why have you summoned me here? Gamabunta asked then noticed Shukaku. Damn how is it that you managed to find yourself in more trouble than Jiraiya ever did? Gamabunta complained only for Naruto to shrug on top of his head. I don't know, just lucky I guess. But do you mind helping me with this? Naruto asked his summon. Yeah I will help with this pile of sand but you owe me another large bottle of that special sake again. Gamabunta told Naruto who simply agreed even though he knew it would cost him a good amount of money to get even one bottle of sake for the giant toad. Yeah, time to go kill. Shukaku yelled out happily then finally noticed Naruto and Gamabunta and shot massive air bullets at them without wasting time to aim. Which still worked seeing as Gamabunta was big enough to be an easy target. So said Toad. Jumped out of the way of the bullets and landed to the side of Shukaku and quickly launched several water bullets at the beast who cancelled them out with air bullets of his own. He then pulled out his sword and tried slashing at Shukaku only for the beast's sand to cover it making him let go of it before the sand reached his hand though he was too slow and had his back slammed hard against the ground causing a massive crater to form. Gaki we need to wake up the Jinchuriki of this thing. Yay but how do we do that when the Ichiraku is controlling him? Simple really, we just need to shock him with something. Basically meaning a simply punch should do it. But how do we manage that when he is covered in 10 tons of sand? Just look at the demon's head. So, Naruto did just that and saw Gaara simply hanging there clearly out cold. While either the jutsu forces that to happen, it is needed for some reason, or the Ichiraku is clearly not the smartest of the 9. Naruto though nearly wanting to laugh at the stupidity of having an obvious weak point. But the seriousness of the moment kept him from doing just that. Okay then but how do we reach him? Seeing as I doubt that the Ichiraku will let me simply wake him up. Well there is 2 options really. One we do a combination transformation where you transform us into something that can hold him down until you get onto the sand or we could try to make him a massive chunk of ice using some toad oil and a fire jutsu. Your pick Gaki. Gamabunta told him while dogging several air blasts that thankfully were only hitting either large trees or simply losing all of their energy in the air as they travel. Well then let's get a transformation up seeing as I don't have fire as a strong Chakra element. Naruto told his teammate. Okay then think of something with claws and could hold onto that thing, at least something better than trying to do so myself. Gamabunta told him then soon enough they both yelled out transform and were covered in smoke for a few seconds and then where they stood was the 9-tailed fox. So, they quickly ran at Shukaku and dug their claws deep into the sand of his arms. Or were until after a few moments the henge reversed and Naruto quickly ran up Shukaku's arm with the sand trying to attack him the whole way up. In fact the sand was attacking him bad enough that Naruto had to have his chakra form a protective shell around himself. Though sadly for Gamabunta he didn't have the same protection as the sand wrapped around his arms and went up forcing him to poof away back to the summing realm. So, Naruto was all alone fighting now while he had to deal with keeping the sand from crushing him under its pressure. Man, I am so glad that I saved up a good amount of chakra for this fight. Naruto, though sweating heavily, seeing as it took a large amount of chakra to push back an attack from a demon. Still, he eventually made it to Gaara and had to release his shield, seeing as he couldn't focus on creating it and punching at the same time, so it came down and he tried to hit the sleeping boy only for Sand to pull his hand back. Wake the fuck up, Naruto told the kid, annoyed, and struggled to get a bit closer to the boy before doing the only attack he could with the Sand holding him back, a headbutt. Damn, and I just got here. Shukaku told, mumbled out to no one, then dissolved into sand, making both boys fall down several stories. Though they could do nothing to stop it, so they simply watched the ground come closer for a few seconds before they both slammed onto the ground, which was thankfully softened the landing. Course, in the end they were both still awake, only a little way away from each other, so Naruto tried to struggle to his feet only for them to begin to wobble as soon as he got on them, causing him to fall to the ground again. Though he soon tried again, and this time using some of the small amount of chakra he had left to create a stick of chakra that he leaned against and slowly walked towards Gaara. No, stay away. Gaara yelled at him, clearly afraid, and tried to get away only for him to unable to be really moved, just like Naruto. Calm down, Gaara, I am not going to hurt you anymore, Naruto told the boy, shocking him. What? No. Anyone who knows of mother wants to hurt me, Gaara tells him, clearly still afraid, seeing as even the sand was not responding to his call. Gaara, your mother isn't your real mother, don't listen to its voice. It is just your sealed beast trying to control you, but don't let it, Gaara. Instead, look for people to be your precious people like your brother and sister to protect. That is where you will find your true strength and reason to live, Naruto told the scared boy. What would you know about what I have to deal with? You know nothing, Gaara told him. I know, because I was like you until I found my precious people. So, please just give trusting a few people a chance, brother, Naruto told the scared boy, who didn't respond even when his family member shows up, blocking Naruto from Gaara, looking ready to fight until Gaara grabbed both of their legs from his position. No, Kankuro, Tamari, let's just go home, Gaara told them, shocking them both as they each put one of his arms over their shoulders. We will meet again, Naruto Uzumaki, Gaara told Naruto, simply showing no hints as to whether that was a good thing or a bad thing before they all disappears. Course, almost as soon as he was sure that they would not come back, he let go of the chakra cane and fell to the ground, absolutely exhausted. Around village. All around the village the invaders were slowly being pushed out of the village until finally the call was made to retreat, and they all went running with Konoha chasing them towards all the way to the very edge of the village. Then let out a cheer at their victory. They won, but at the price of their leader. Naruto Chakra Molder 15. The funeral for Sarutobi was large and countless people showed up to watch him get a military burial. Course, many people were sad to see their Kage go, but none were more upset than his family, which Naruto was basically a part of. For while everyone eventually left the grave site, the group of three eventually were the only ones left, simply looking at the tombstone with tears threatening to fall from their eyes. They stayed there for a long time before Asuma finally forced Konohamaru away to make him start to head back to their home, and was about to do the same with Naruto until he noticed a familiar girl walk up behind said boy. So, a small smile reached his face for a moment before his sadness destroyed it. Still, he walked away, leaving Naruto to Hinata, seeing as he knew she would comfort him better than he ever could. Come on, Naruto-kun, let's go get you home, Hinata tells Naruto in a gentle voice while hugging him from behind. Course, she didn't get any response from her love. He wouldn't have wanted you to just stand out here all day now, would he? She asked him, then smiled slightly as he silently began to walk back to his home, following Hinata, who was leading him by the hand. So, they slowly made it through Konoha, which was easy to do seeing as most people were taking a day off to mourn for the lost. Course, when they eventually made it to Naruto's apartment, where he fumbled around with his keys until he eventually opened the door, which led to him soon getting another soothing hug from Haku when she noticed they came in. For she was already home since she left early to make dinner for Naruto, who ended up not finding the desire to eat. Still, they all simply kept walking, with the two girls following the silent Naruto, who walked all the way to his bed and he simply fell onto it. Course, when he did this, both Haku and Hinata followed after him, then grabbed the bed's blanket and threw it over themselves as they both pulled close to Naruto, with Haku hugging him from behind and Hinata holding him close to her from his front to try their best to comfort the blonde. Though they didn't say a word and simply were physically there for him until exhaustion finally took him into the dream realm after whispering thank you to the girls, making them both smile slightly before they got comfortable as well and fell asleep soon after holding their boyfriend in their arms. Next morning the three teenagers slept calmly for several hours until there was a loud knock that woke all of them up. Course they quickly decided to ignore the knocking in favor of going back to sleep in the comfortable spot they found themselves. But apparently this annoyed the person at the door, seeing as they knocked even louder. Outside apartment. Kurenai was both worried and annoyed at the moment. For early in the morning she found out that the girl she thought of as a sister didn't make it home the night before. So, she quickly began to search for Hinata but couldn't find any form of a struggle at her last known location. After finding that out, she quickly went over to one of the few places Hinata may have gone, Naruto's home. Now this fact alone made her annoyed to even think about, but the fact she felt 3 chakra signatures in the house instead of 2 made her even more frustrated, even if she was a bit relieved. Either way, she quickly decided to get the residents' attention and began to knock loud enough to wake them up. Course after being ignored several times she felt her frustration boil over and quickly fried the seal protecting the house and walked into the apartment after dodging several traps. She then walked over to where she sensed the people were, only to quickly begin releasing her ki as she glared down at what she saw. For in front of her she saw Naruto, Hinata, and Haku still sleeping together. Course after feeling Kurenai's ki, they all quickly woke up with Naruto getting up in front of the girls to protect them with a chakra shield. Though after he saw it was Kurenai he quickly released the shield but remained tense as he watched her. "Kurenai-sensei, why are you here?" Naruto asks her, slightly afraid. "How dare you take it from her? And at such a depressing time?" She asks him, furious, confusing the still slightly naive Naruto but caused Hinata to blush heavily. Kurenai-sensei, we didn't have duty that. We just fell asleep," Hinata told her sensei, who clearly didn't believe her. "I knew this would happen if you dated. Now come with me away from this man." Kurenai ordered Hinata, then walked over and grabbed her hand. "No, I wanna stay with Naru-kun," Hinata told her teacher, fighting to stay where she was. "Not after catching you doing that, you're not. You were too young yet you still did it anyway. I knew I shouldn't have let you date when you foolishly had your fantasies of true love," Kurenai told her, then was forced to jump back when several green spike of chakra curled around from behind Hinata and tried to cut her arm off. "You will not insult Hinata-hime while I am around," Naruto growled at her, getting angry. Which normally wouldn't have made Kurenai stop, seeing as she was a jonin and he was a genin, but that was before she noticed something that raised the danger level. For when she looked in Naruto's eyes she saw them gain red spots, showing that he was close to using the demon's yokai. Something that instantly caused the danger level of a fight to raise drastically. "Stand down, Naruto, if you attack me then you will get in a lot of trouble. She is my student, meaning that I have the right to do whatever I need to if I feel it is necessary," Kurenai told him, thinking he wouldn't want to get in trouble. So, after saying this she reached for Hinata again, only to notice the red color in Naruto's eyes growing, making her stop and tense up for a possible attack instead. An attack that would have come had Hinata not put a hand on Naruto's shoulder, getting his attention, and simply shook her head, which somehow calmed Naruto down. Course seeing as he was now calmer, Kurenai soon went to get her student again, only for said girl to glare at her. "Kurenai, while you do have a right to rule me as my sensei, I am not completely under your control at any time. You have no right to say anything about my love life, seeing as it has nothing to do with my career. Besides, if you haven't noticed, nothing happened, we are all fully dressed. Now either leave us alone or I will get you in trouble and request a new teacher." Course the fact that she said that she would look for a new sensei was what made Kurenai snap out of her rage. For when that happened it was usually done due to the student being unable to work with their teacher. Meaning that one of them disliked the other, or simply because it was a bad teacher. Now normally would be ignored except for if there was a bad teacher, but seeing as she was a Hyuga it would be looked into. Though the reason this scared her so much was because that would mean that her sister hated her. Which was something she never wanted to happen. "Now Hinata, you know I think of you like a sister. I mean, I watched you grow up. I just want the best for you," Kurenai told the girl in a gentle voice, though Hinata continued to give her one of her rare glares. "And that is being with Naruto-kun. But he just slept with you and you are too you. Nothing happened other than me comforting my sad boyfriend with Haku," Hinata told her, and she finally noticed that she did indeed have all her clothes on, just like Naruto and Haku did. Course Hinata finally stopped glaring and walked over to her. Older sister, I know you care about me sensei, but I am old enough to do some things by myself. So, while I appreciate your care, please let me live my life instead of being shielded off from everything. Okay. Hinata asks, getting a nod as an answer after a few seconds, causing her to hug the older woman. Thank you, she told her happily, then let go and looked at Naruto. I will be back, I just need to change. And when I come back you better be ready to go do something today. She told him, then walked towards her own home. After she left, Naruto quickly walked up to Kurenai. Even with her saying that if I ever hurt her unintentionally I want you to tell me and punish me. Though for everyone else that does hurt her somehow let me be the one to punish them. He told her with an evil smile that made even Kurenai a bit worried. When he is protective he acts even scarier than Anko in her interrogation mode. Kurenai thinks slightly terrified but still smiled at the boy. Both of these I would gladly do. Kurenai told him with a smile. And for what it is worth, sorry for automatically accusing you. She told him. Don't worry about it, I mean it did look bad. Besides, I shouldn't have let my emotions control me so much. Naruto told her with a frown. You know there is nothing wrong with protecting your girlfriend. Yes, but I shouldn't let myself fall into rage, or any other negative emotion. How sad, he trained himself to not be affected by the village, or was this caused by Sarutobi-sama? I mean no wonder he acts like a smiling goof, any other emotion he has. He hides. Kurenai thinks as she looks down at the still clearly depressed boy. Naruto, it is okay to show your emotions. She told him kindly. Course before he could say anything a knock was heard at the door again. So, Naruto quickly went over to it, masking his sadness before opening the door. Hello. Naruto called out, falsely happy when he opened the door. Oh, Kakashi-sensei, what are you doing here? Hey Naruto, just wanted to tell you that our team has a week off from training while Konoha recovers. Kakashi tells him. Okay sensei. Naruto told him, then gave a large smile that made Kakashi smile a bit under his mask. Good, now enjoy your time off, he would have wanted you to. Kakashi told him, giving Naruto a brief knowing look, then left. Now Kurenai-sensei, you are welcome to stay, but both of us must get changed and ready for the day, seeing as Hina apparently wants to do something today. Naruto told the older woman when he came back inside, then walked into his bathroom. So, soon after he entered the bathroom, Kurenai decided to leave the house but stayed on his rooftop, curious as to what Hinata had planned. Plus half an hour later plus. Naruto was finally ready for the day, physically anyways. For if it was up to him he would have spent the day simply lying down wallowing in his depression like the rest of his grandfather's family was doing, seeing as his death hit them all the hardest. Though he couldn't let himself wallow that much, seeing as Hinata refused to leave him to it. And she was right about the fact that Sarutobi wouldn't want him not moving on. Still, he didn't think about this for too long, seeing as there was a knock at the door, making him walk over to it instead. And when he did, he got to see Ino smiling back at him. Hey Naruto-kun, can I come in? She asks him, getting a nod in response, and soon enough they both walked into Naruto's room and sat down. Course Haku joined them a few minutes later with some snacks, seeing as neither Naruto or her ate since before the funeral. So, they all sat around simply eating in silence, waiting for someone to break the silence. Naruto, first off, I am sorry for not being there with you yesterday, but my parents needed me at the flower shop. So, how are you holding up? Ino asks, still feeling a bit unsure about how to help a depressed person even with her training dealing with the mind. And note that my idea of her being busy was due to most people wanting flowers to use during funerals, so obviously people selling them would be pretty busy at this time. I am sad, but he would have wanted me to push on. Naruto told her, hesitating before telling her his true emotion, but still copied Hinata's words to make her worry less. Yes, he would have. So, do you want to do something? She asks, but before Naruto could answer there was yet another knock at the door. Welcome back Hinata. Naruto told the new person with a quick fake smile. Hello Naru-kun, ready to go? Yes, but Ino and Haku are here and probably will come with us. Naruto told her truthfully, which Hinata didn't seem to really mind. So, she quickly was led into the room where Ino and Haku were all sitting, and they all simply waited for her to tell them about the plan she had for the day. Well Naruto, just come follow me to our first stop. Hinata told him, then turned to the other girls in the room. And I won't order you guys, but if you want to come you are welcome to do so. She told them, and soon they all were following the girl who apparently wasn't so shy at the moment. As they walked, both Haku and Ino tried to get Hinata to tell them, though Hinata refused to answer and only told them to simply keep following her to see for themselves. Course they still kept asking all the way until they reached a training ground that had Hinata's teammates already on it. Hey Kiba, Shino, what are you guys doing here? Ino asks as they walked up to the boys. Hinata-san asked us to come here though we don't know why. Shino told them, bringing all the attention back to said girl. Now will you tell us why we are here? Ino asks Hinata, who simply smiled. We are here to play a training game that I invented. Hinata told them, making everyone even more curious. She spent an hour out of Naruto's home, half an hour to clean up and half an hour to prepare this. A training game? How could that be any fun for us? I mean, we stopped playing those years ago. Kiba tells her. Course to answer this she just smiles at her teammate. Yes, but the one I invented will still be good for all of us. She told them, then pulled a scroll from her pocket that unsealed to become a massive scroll made entirely out of stone. You see, we need to set up 2 goal points at least a mile apart, and the goal is to bring this weighted scroll to your team's goal point. Meanwhile, the teams will constantly be fighting against each other using anything but jutsus and lethal force. So, we will train by sparring, making plans, running, and much more. She explains to the group that actually was getting interested again in her plan again. Okay then, so how will the teams be set up then? Ino asks, deciding that it would actually be a fun way to train. Simply boys versus girls in a 3 versus 3 match. Wait, so you knew that I was going to come with you? Ino asks, surprised. Well, no, but I figured Haku would come, making the teams basically fair. And even if that didn't happen, we still could have had a 2 versus 2 match. Hinata told her, seeing as she did set up the plan to be perfect. Wow, Hinaheim, you really did manage to make a perfect plan in only half an hour. You really are good at creating plans quickly. Naruto told his girlfriend, causing her to blush. Now let's get this game started. Naruto told them, finally a bit excited. For while he still was upset, he never turned down a chance to train, and Hinata would probably just order him to do it even if he did try to leave anyways, seeing as she was now apparently over her shyness. Okay, so let us begin. Hinata tells the group that nods, and they soon set up for the game and began to play as soon as they could. In the end, it was just as they promised, a lot of fun whole while still being an exhausting training program that did for several hours until they all had to stop due to hunger. So, they all simply sat around, closed the training ground, seeing as Hinata told them to simply stay, seeing as she planned something already for their meal and had left to go make sure they got it along one of Naruto's clones that she told him to not dispel, seeing as it would ruin the surprise. Course they already were waiting for what felt like ages to the teens, who by now all heard their stomachs growling out in rage. What is taking Hinata so long? I need food. Kiba complains, with Akamaru whining while the dog lied down next to his complaining owner. I just made it back, Kiba-san. Hinata told them, surprising each one of them as she and the clone carried a food cart while Ayame walked behind them. Yay, food. The dog-loving ninja called out happily while everyone else silently agreed with him and just didn't want to look like an idiot by screaming out their happiness. So, after the food cart was set down, a line was formed with each one of them getting a good amount of ramen, except for Naruto, who was given a few extremely large bowls to eat, seeing as they all knew he ate the most. They all then sat on a fairly large blanket and had a ramen picnic with a large pitcher of fruit juice to share around using cups. All in all, it was a good break to their game, and they even gained a member to the group, seeing as Ayame told them that her father told her to stay and collect the bowls. Though what they didn't know was that while he did tell her to do this, he did it with a knowing smile, seeing as he gave her the chance to spend more time with Naruto. Hello Naruto-kun, how are you doing today? She asked, hoping not to upset the boy, who now looked happy. Well, to tell you the truth, I am actually enjoying my day thanks to Hinaheim. For while I would probably still be upset and simply sitting in my room depressed, but she forced me out, and I have to say thanks to this game I actually am happy even with that having happened. Naruto admitted, seeing as while he still felt bad, he didn't feel nearly as bad now that he spent half a day spending time having fun with his friends and girlfriends. And so I have no idea why this happened or what I did, but I didn't actually have a save file of the rest of the chapter. Something that I don't know why it happened but it did, so I copied the story I lost from the FF page. I apologize if it messes with things a bit. Ah, that is good to hear. I wouldn't want you to stay depressed for too long. Ayame told Secret Crush. Yay, surprisingly I am actually not feeling all that sad anymore. Now Ayame, now that we have the time, will you tell me why you gave me that surprise before the exam? Naruto asks, making the girl blush. Well, I kind of just did it just because it felt like the right thing to do at that time, and she told him, blushing even more but hesitating to tell Naruto her feelings just in case he doesn't like her that way, or if he couldn't return her feelings due to dating the others or something else. For if he didn't end up returning the feelings, it could make their relationship quite awkward, and that was the last thing she wanted to happen. And, what should I do? I mean, if I tell him, then he might return my feelings and we can become a happy couple. But if he doesn't, then I will lose the one person that I feel extremely close to me. Ayame thinks quickly, trying to weigh the good versus the bad, and quickly decided, and, I sort of like you. She told him quickly. Course, after hearing this, Naruto could do nothing but try to decipher what she just said far too fast. Can you repeat that, please? He asks, hoping she would say it slower, which only made her even more nervous and embarrassed, but still took a deep breath to try and calm her nerves a bit. I like you, Naruto-kun. She told him, blushing as she waited for him to respond. Well, I am honored that you feel that way, and I do like you, Ayame, but I do already have several girlfriends thanks to CRA. Are you okay with that? Naruto asks and watches as several emotions go across Ayame's face as he talked. For when he told her that he liked her, she looked overjoyed, then looked worried, and finally became happy again. Yes, I already knew about them, and I will be happy to be with you just as long as you promise to love all of us. She told him, and he quickly agreed, seeing as he already planned to do so, which got him a hug and a kiss from his newest girlfriend. Course, what they didn't realize was the rest of the girls came over to see them. So, Naruto-sama, you found another girlfriend. Haku states as she looks at the newest couple. Yes, I did. Is that okay? Naruto asks the three girls, slightly worried that they were mad at him. Sigh, Naruto-kun, we knew it would happen, but we would just appreciate it if you talked to us before you tried to get another. Ino told him, seeing as she did already accept that he would be getting several girlfriends. She just didn't want him to go girl crazy and try to get girls, every girl in sight, simply because he could. Okay then. I promise to all of you that I will not get another girl without all of you girls allowing me. Though I don't really plan on dating anyone else anyways right now. Naruto told them, seeing as the only girl he actually fully planned on dating was Hinata, the rest of the girls just happened to enter his life. Still, he wasn't complaining about meeting any one of them. So, they all simply enjoyed a moment together. They forgot about us, didn't they? Kiba asks as he looks over at Naruto surrounded by the girls. Yes, but just let them. After all, Hinata did this just to make him happy after all. Shino told his teammate, then continued to eat. He really is a lucky bastard, isn't he, to have not only a lot of girls but also girls that truly care deeply about him. Kiba adds, jealous of the blonde. Yes, he truly is. Shino told his friend, though like normal didn't show any of his emotions. Course, thankfully for the two of them, the group eventually remembered what they were actually supposed to be doing and quickly finished the rest of their food and got right back into their training game, while Ayame simply sat watching what she could while simply enjoying the warm day as she waited for them to finish, seeing as she didn't want to walk back to the village after eating. In a tree close to Ayame. Kurenai was actually surprised to find out that Hinata was not only willing to go this far to take Naruto's mind off of Sarutobi's death, but also by the fact that she seemed to be such a confident version of herself at the moment. I guess when it is truly important, Hinata can put aside her normal ways and do what she needs to. I guess Naruto is good for her to be around after all, for the most part. Kurenai thinks to herself as she watches her team train. For while she now knew that both Hinata and Naruto cared deeply about each other, she couldn't help but want to hurt the boy when she thought of him eventually trying to deflower her sister. For she would love it if Hinata instead became an ice princess just so that no man would ever take advantage of her. Though she had to admit Naruto was beginning to change her opinion about males. But for right now she simply spent her time enjoying watching her team actually enjoy a training program that she was tempted to copy herself if she could get another team to join in. Plus, close to dinner time plus. After a while each of the teenagers were basically exhausted thanks to the training program. So, they decided to stop their game with the guys winning by 2 points. So, they all walked back to the village with Naruto and Kiba carrying the cart for Ayame, seeing as it would be impossible to push on the forest floor. Finally, after they all made it back to the village, they went their separate ways with Naruto making sure to have a clone walk each of his girls home before making it back to his own home himself with Haku. Man, that was actually a fun way to spend the day. Naruto told Haku, happily giving her a true smile. Wait, how can I possibly be feeling this happy the day after Gigi was buried? I guess I truly do owe Hinata-chan a lot along with the rest of my new family. But I haven't really done anything special for them. I really need to find something to give them to make sure they know that they are appreciated. But what could possibly work? Naruto thinks to himself at a loss of what to do for each one of them. Course he couldn't think about it for too long, seeing as Haku started cooking dinner and he decided that he needed to help her make it. Hinata_. After the clone and her made it home, she happily went to her room and waited for dinner time to be called while she thought about the day. I am so happy that I was able to make Naruto-kun happy again. I mean, it was the least I could do to pay him back for just being my protector and role model. She though happily remembering her boyfriend's happy face, which to her was worth doing anything to keep on his face, a real smile though not a fake one, though to her made him the most handsome person alive. Ino_. After she made it home, she quickly went into the living room where Inochi was already sitting simply enjoying a book until he saw her come in. Hello Ino, how was your day out? He asks his daughter, who smiles at her father. Oh, it was great. I mean, after going to visit Naruto-kun who was at his home with Haku, Hinata showed up and brought all of us to training ground where we met her team and played a 3 versus 3 training game that was actually kind of fun. She told him, never losing her smile. I see, it is good to hear that you had fun and trained while you did it. He told his daughter, happy that she was actually enjoying herself while actually training. Surprisingly enough, I have to admit that her entering in Naruto's harem was probably one of the best ideas Ino has had. I mean, instead of staying weak while going after the brat Sasuke, she is going after someone who actually has a good goal and cares for people. Plus, he is apparently helping her become stronger. Inochi thought, still unsure what his exact feelings about his daughter's relationship status. Man, deciding to go out with Naruto was the best idea I had. Why did I ever go for Sasuke when Naruto was laterally the perfect guy? I mean, if I actually paid attention to him, I could have been the first one to get his full attention even before his bloodline appeared. Ino thinks but quickly brings her thoughts back to happier things. Ayame_. As soon as she got back to the shop, she began to clean the bowls that they used when her father finally walked up to her. So, how was your time with friends? Tuki asks with a smile on his face. It was great. We talked quite a bit and I got to watch them train a bit while enjoying the day. All in all, it was a perfect day. She told him happily. Oh, and here I thought you would have a different reason for being happy right now. He asks, giving her a knowing smile. What do you mean? Ayame asks, blushing. I know you like him, so if you are happy then something must have happened. I won't ask what, but just know as long as you are happy I am. He told her, which got him a hug from the girl, who then went back to work with her smile even bigger. And I know Naruto will treat you right. Besides, he couldn't live without his ramen. He adds, in knowing exactly how to control Naruto if he ever needed to, even if he didn't think he would ever actually do it. Haku_. Ah, it is nice to have Naruto-sama happy again. The last thing I want is for him to upset. So, I really have to thank Hinata for the best present I could get, a happy master. Now all I want to do is keep him happy by doing whatever I can, which also means that I have to make sure that none of his precious can die ever again by making sure we are all strong enough to handle any threat. Haku thinks happily as she cooks dinner with Naruto helping her. Which, although she won't tell him, truly made her happy, seeing as she could spend time doing something with him. Council chamber. I already told you guys I don't want to be the Hokage. I have stuff and information to get. Jiraiya tells the elders, annoyed. And if I was then, I would have to think of the village over helping Naruto, which probably would end up in making me unable to help him if he ever needs it again. He added mentally. But then who will be the Hokage? One of the elders asks, causing Jiraiya to smile. I know who the next cage will be, but I am going to need my newest apprentice to get her to do it. Jiraiya tells them, then leaves to go to get his own dinner, figuring he would get the boy ready to go tomorrow at breakfast and leave at noon. Chapter 16. Early the next morning, both Haku and Naruto were awake and preparing to eat breakfast when they felt a presence near the kitchen. So, they both got off their chairs and reached for their weapons as the person came closer to them. "Yo, Gaki, how are you doing?" Jiraiya asks happily, ignoring their weapons, and sat down in a spare chair. "Looks good," he adds, looking at the food, then began to eat the food on Naruto's plate. Course this annoyed Haku, seeing as he was stealing from her master. So, she was about to throw her needles anyways until Naruto told her not to, as he rolled his eyes and walked to get another plate of food, seeing as Haku always made enough for at least seconds just in case Naruto ever got more hungry. So, instead of attacking, she just settled on glaring at the old man while they all ate. "So, Eros Sennin, besides mooching, is there a reason you came?" Naruto asks his teacher after they were basically done eating. "Yay Gaki, pack your bags. You are coming with me to find an old friend of mine that has to come back to help the village." Jiraiya ordered him. "Okay, when do we leave?" Naruto asks, not bothering to argue, seeing as finding this person had to be important to help the village he loves. "This afternoon, right after lunch. So, you have the time to say goodbye to your girls, and to maybe get some quick good luck presents." Jiraiya tells him with a lecherous expression as he looked at Naruto and Haku. "Pervert, I already told you to stop trying to put my hymns into your books, we are too damn young and have no interest." Naruto told him, annoyed. "So, you are all adults due to being ninja, besides you are older," he tells Naruto, then quickly dodges a few ice needles that flew at his most prized body part. "If Naruto-sama says we are too young, then we are," Haku tells the old pervert, glaring at him as if she was daring him to disagree, even though it didn't seem to bother the pervert at all. "Man Naruto, you have one of your girls calling you her master already. I didn't know you were into the domination idea, you crazy Gaki." "What? I don't even know what you mean. Actually, I don't want to know. So just shut up," seeing as she decided to call me that herself even though I told her she didn't need to. Naruto told him, clearly not wanting to hear his sensei's teasing, though this just made Jiraiya laugh a bit more than leave the two teens by themselves. "Anyways, Haku, I guess I have to go with Eros Sennin even if he does annoy me to no end. So, I guess I have to go tell the others, see you later Ice Heim." Naruto told her, giving her a quick kiss on the cheek, then left the house, leaving Haku, who was holding her cheek, surprised by the sudden display of affection, but soon continued to prepare for her own day with a small smile on her face. Course after a while, Naruto managed to tell each one of the girls, who understood that he had a mission and wished him good luck. So, he ended up eating a good meal made freshly from Ayame, who was happy to spend time cooking for the boy she fell in love with. For she loved both cooking and talking with Naruto, and when she can do both at the same time, she was more than happy to do so. Though he could only enjoy a few bowls before Jiraiya showed up again. "Ready to go. Yay, just let me finish this last bowl," Naruto told him, then quickly finished it and put the money he owed onto the table. "See you when I get back, Ayame-chan," Naruto tells the waitress, then gave her a hug that caused her to blush a bit before he left. "Man, this kid can get any girl he wants. Maybe I should bring him into a bar so that I can get a nice girl to get him started with helping me with my boo. Ouch." Jiraiya mumbled to himself until he screamed out in pain when a small splash of hot water landed on his lap, making him look at Ayame, who was giving him a falsely sweet smile that promised pain to any male it focused at. "Please don't try to corrupt Naruto-kun like that, Jiraiya-sama," she told him, keeping the smile while she respectfully told him, showing that there was a threat hidden under the respectful words. Hi, Jiraiya quickly told the girl, slightly afraid of the girl seeing as she had more hot water on her and clearly wasn't afraid to use it. Man, Naruto sure can pick the scariest girls to date. He couldn't help but think as he tried to keep the girl calm before he made a break for it. Soon enough after Jiraiya escaped, both he and Naruto left the village ready to go out and find the person that they needed to. Though Naruto refused, simply waste all of his time searching, so he asked to be trained as well, which Jiraiya agreed to, and soon tossed him a water balloon, confusing Naruto until Jiraiya explained it. "Well Gaki, popping this balloon using only chakra movement is the first step in learning one of your father's techniques. Now I know I could have taught you this last month, but thanks to your chakra control needing work, I didn't want to get you started on an attack that needs complete chakra control to be used fully. So how about you begin the first step now? Jiraiya explains and Naruto simply nods, seeing as it was an acceptable reason as to why he didn't teach him it earlier, and then began to push the water inside of the balloon around in one direction until finally a hole was created and all of the water spilled out. Course Naruto just smiled at this, thinking that he finished the first step only to be tossed yet another water balloon, which confused him. The balloon has to be completely popped like this. Jiraiya tells him, then pops another water balloon in his hand that caused water to splash everywhere. Now continue until you can manage this, he adds, and then continues to walk with Naruto following right behind him while also trying to pass the first part of the jutsu. So, who are we trying to find anyways? Naruto finally asks Jiraiya during a break in his training. We are looking for one of my old teammates, Tsunade. Now finding her is going to be annoying, seeing as she constantly moves around to avoid her debt collectors. Jiraiya explains, feeling no need to hide the information from his student. Ah, well then I guess we will have to simply catch up to her before she moves to another town. Though I wonder why we need someone who obviously can't keep a hold of her own money for our village. Don't worry, while she does suck with money, there is a very good reason why she would be best kept in the village. Jiraiya tells Naruto, then they both walked into the next town. Now how about you go find a good hotel for us while I look for some information. Jiraiya tells him with a smile, then ran off before Naruto could say a word so he could chase some girl. Course Naruto just shrugged it off and did as he asked before doing what he was asked before, simply relaxing in the room. Damn pervert, making me get a room for the night just because he found some girl to lust after. I mean, really, she had to be like 20 years younger than him anyways. Oh, well, I get some free time to practice and he will more than likely get slapped before he comes here. Naruto thinks with a smile, then works on popping the balloon. Not doing a battle between Sasuke and Itachi simply because Sasuke was injured in the exams, and really if they took so long to get there, how did he show up so fast? Or even get out of the village unsupervised? Plus few hours later Naruto finally completed the first step after getting annoyed and simply trying to fill the balloon with a ton of chakra that made the movement his control horrible, which in turn made the movement wild enough that ended up doing more damage to the balloon. So, now with that found out, Naruto quickly tried to do the same thing, but this time use more control, and he did end up popping the balloon just like Jiraiya did. Now he just had to wait for the Jiraiya to show up, which only took about another half an hour for him to stumble in, obviously drunk, and had a massive red mark on his cheek that seemed to be formed by several hands, though he passed out as soon as he entered the room. Course what surprised him was the fact that a group of girls was walking towards their room as well. Can I help you girls? Naruto asks them as they reached their room. Yes, we are going to punish that pervert for trying to flirt with not only us but our daughters as well. One of the women told Naruto, who then noticed that the ages of the girls seemed to be mid-20s to late 30s. There were several that looked to be closer to his age as well, such as a girl that looked to be around 16. Man, the perv really just reached a new low. Naruto couldn't help but think as he stood aside and let the girls come in their room. Go right ahead though, please don't kill him, I need him to help with my mission and to get some training in. Naruto told them, and they all happily went at the drunk pervert, who even in his alcohol-induced sleep groaned in pain under their brutal assault. Man, a woman can truly do some serious damage to people even if they aren't ninja, if you get them mad enough. Naruto couldn't help but think as the onslaught lasted for several minutes before the group began to tire. Course when this happened, that finally stopped giving the white-haired man his punishment, then told Naruto thank you before quickly leaving to go back to whatever they were doing originally. Course as soon as they did, Jiraiya instantly was up and glared at Naruto. Why didn't you stop them from attacking me, your sensei? He asked, clearly angry. Well, you deserved it. So, now that you are here and awake, can you show me the next step of the jutsu? Naruto asks, pretending the beating never happened. Why, you ungrateful little brat? Jiraiya growled out and started to move closer to Naruto, who had an evil smirk on his face. Ah, no sensei, you shouldn't go after people younger than you again. Naruto called out louder than he needed to. Course he did this to get the girls' attention yet again, seeing as they didn't move too far and were soon back at their room glaring at Jiraiya again, thinking that he was going to flirt with more of the town's younger girls again. Wait, I wasn't going to go after anyone besides the brat. Jiraiya told them, which turned out to be the wrong thing to say, seeing as Naruto quickly did his best impression of a kicked puppy, which made the girls forget the fact that he was clearly a ninja and get mad at Jiraiya yet again, this time for beating a child. Damn, kid is smart, I have to give him that. But man, do I hate him for that right now. Jiraiya thinks as he begins to back away from the girls yet again and eventually take his only escape route, which was out the room's window. Though the girls soon ran out of the room as fast as they could, determined to get Jiraiya, so they missed Naruto evil cackling as he watched his teacher flee from the window. I still have my pranking skills. Naruto thinks happily, then gets ready for bed, seeing as it was getting pretty late. Plus next morning Naruto woke up after a peaceful sleep and found that sometime during the night Jiraiya came back into the room and fell asleep in the bed next to Naruto's, though he somehow didn't look all that hurt. Still, after a while Jiraiya ended up waking up soon after that, so they were soon back on their journey with Naruto now trying to do step 2 of his father's jutsu, which was to pop a rubber ball, which was a bit harder than the first step, seeing as he still needs to keep control of the attack even as he pumped a massive amount of chakra into the ball. Course this kept him occupied for most of the time as they made their way to the next village, where they found a gambling hall where several old men were happily gambling. Hello gentlemen, what can I do for you? One of the men asks them as they walk in. Well, I am looking for information on someone you probably know as the legendary Sucker. Jiraiya tells the man, who smiles. I might know something about her, but my memory isn't all that good. Thankfully gambling helps me think. So, how about we bet? If you win you get your information for free, but if you lose you have to pay me 150,000 yen, okay? The man asks and Jiraiya accepts to get the information. Jiraiya loses and Naruto's chakra pushes dice over, making him win to get the information. Then they begin using the information. So, soon enough they were walking down a street trying to find their target again, while Naruto continued to practice the second step, making it a bit harder, seeing as he does need to practice controlling a lot more chakra at one time in several different directions than he has ever done before. Though when done he will be able to do it with one hand. Their walk was calm until a massive pop that put Jiraiya on edge and made the people around them flee. Though thankfully there weren't a lot of people to freak out, though Jiraiya was still ready for battle until he saw what caused the noise. For while everyone else was slightly scared, Naruto was celebrating the fact that he finally popped rubber ball properly with enough force to even burn his hands slightly. Though he didn't notice it at the current moment. Man, can this kid learn jutsu any faster? Jiraiya mentally complained, even if he was proud of the kid. So, he tossed Naruto a thin balloon that confused the kid. Now that you have the power, we need it to be controlled even more. So, now use all that power but don't pop the balloon, and then after that all you have left to do is practice to create them faster and faster. Jiraiya told Naruto, who quickly got started in practicing doing this as he continued to walk. Though sadly the search still wasn't fruitful even as the sun began to go down. I can't believe that we haven't found this woman yet. But right now I am too hungry to worry about that, so let's eat. Naruto told Jiraiya, then ran towards a restaurant per bar with Jiraiya following soon after, for he was hungry as well. So, soon enough they were inside looking for a seat when Jiraiya saw their target. Man, this kid's luck is ridiculous. He found her just by wanting something to eat. Jiraiya thought, slightly amused, but still went to put in their orders before sitting down next to their target with Naruto following, not knowing she was found yet. Hello Tsunade, imagine finding you here. Jiraiya said as he sat down across from her. Course this made her stop drinking her sake for a moment and her black-haired friend tense up for a moment. Course this soon passed and she drank the rest of her cup's sake in one gulp. Hey Jiraiya, what do you want? She asked knowingly, then looked at Naruto. And who's the brat? I am here to bring you back to the village Tsunade, and this is Naruto Uzumaki. Jiraiya told her, adding emphasis on his last name. Course this caused Tsunade to widen her eyes for just a moment before she hid it just as fast. And now hopefully you will come back easier to appease him some, seeing as he is her godson thanks to Kushina. So, she had to make up for the missed years as well. Jiraiya thought, though knew that there would still be a problem bringing her back, seeing as she did suffer the mental trauma of losing her loved ones in the village already and also lost her daughter, Kushina, as well. Why am I needed back at the village? Tsunade asks, ignoring the fact that her grandson was there for the moment. They need you back to heal several of our badly injured fighters and to become the next Hokage. Jiraiya told her, then watched as her eyes narrowed in anger. I already told those damn elder that I won't be coming back, even if there is someone I have to take care of. She told him, glancing over at a still surprised Naruto briefly. Besides, being Hokage is a fool's job anyway. She told them, enraging Naruto enough to slam his hands down on the table. Listen, you old hag, I refuse to just sit here and listen to some drunk diss Gigi and my dream job. Naruto told her, causing her rage to increase. Oh, yay, want to take this outside? Tsunade asked, wanting to punish the one who annoyed her godson or not. So, they both walked out of the building even though the others tried to stop it. They then marched several feet away from each other, then moved several feet away from each other, still ignoring the other two. Okay, brat, ready to be beaten. And you know what? I only need to use one finger to defeat you. She told him, faking being cocky. After all, if I hurt you too badly, then my daughter will hate me for all eternity in the afterlife. She thought, but hid this reason so she wouldn't appear even slightly weak. Bring it, old lady, I will just have to beat you and get a better person to act as our cage until I take over. Naruto told her. Hey, what makes you think they would ever let a brat like you ever become Hokage? Because I promised myself that I would become Kage and I never go back on my promises. For that is my ninja way. Naruto told her, making her briefly see her dead loved ones close to him before she shook the thought clear from her head. Meanwhile, Naruto was for once truly seeing red. Seeing as she not only made fun of the job that he truly admired but also insulted two people that he treated as family. Well, one of them was family while the other was close enough to basically be family. Though he said nothing else as they simply waited for the other to start the match. This didn't last too long though, seeing as Naruto charged at her, trying to hit her with a punch that was easily dodged using her superior speed. Tsunade then flicked Naruto on the forehead, sending him flying back into a brick wall that then fell onto his back. Yet again, my file is cruddy, and this was not all of the file that I have on fanfiction, and again I have no idea why, but I will try to mix the file I have together with what there was as smoothly as possible. Luckily it's on pages that everyone knows anyways. See, nothing but a cocky snot-nosed brat. Tsunade told herself with a smile, figuring the fight was over, seeing as no normal person could handle even a fraction of her monstrous strength. So of course, the last thing she expected was to see Naruto pulling himself out of the rubble looking like he only had a bruise on his head that was slowly getting smaller and a bit of blood that was now smeared on his forehead. Did not expect that. Luckily with my training I can focus more chakra to a part of my body to make it heal faster. Naruto admitted to himself and then glared at his opponent again. You won't take me out that easily. He told her, then tensed and drew out pure chakra armor that again had a green tint to it, though it wasn't as noticeable. Chakra armor. Wind, he mumbled after the suit was made. Now let's truly begin. He finally added, then launched a set of his chain at Tsunade. Course she had no clue exactly what the strange jutsu did, so she did what her instincts told her to and smacked the chain away from hitting her chest with a hand coated in chakra. Course after she did this, she was surprised to find that she had a pretty bad cut on her hand even though it was reinforced. So, she just looked over at her opponent with a small amount of shock clear on her face. Though that lasted only a moment before she began to heal her hand, which took a bit longer than normal while she dogged two more chains that pierced the ground where she stood. Run all you want, but you are still in range of my attacks. Naruto told her with a smile, even though he knew that he was partially lying, but seeing as Tsunade had no idea about his jutsu she was unaware. Gaki, while I admit that your jutsu is quite surprising, you still aren't a match for me. We will see about that. Naruto told her, narrowing his eyes and beginning to attack at a faster pace than before, only to be dogged each time, causing several holes in the ground to be created. Course while he was doing this, Tsunade weaved closer to Naruto until she was close enough to hit him in the face with her entire strength. Thankfully before she had to jump back before a chain that came up from the ground pieced straight through her arm. Course this made Naruto a bit annoyed that his plan didn't work, but soon launched his attack at Tsunade again, only to hit and piece through a nearby pole without Tsunade having to even move. Fool, your aim is as good as your strength. Tsunade taunted, only to be shocked again when she saw that while her focus was on the chain, Naruto reabsorbed them and used them to get close to her fast. Course due to her shock she was caught off guard and Naruto was able to cut her torso at least a bit before she moved from the chakra blade he formed from the armor on his arm. Course Naruto took that moment to come around with his other hand to try and form a Rasengan in his bare hand and for a few moments had the ball of chakra working, but as soon as he tried to use it on Tsunade it lost its form and became a blast of energy that pushed the two apart again. Though sadly for Naruto, while he was recovering from his failed attack, Tsunade already was ready and hit him in the chest with a punch that yet again sent him flying, but this time he went through two walls before having a third crumble on him, and this time he couldn't force himself to get up due to feeling the pain of what felt like a brick being slammed onto her chest that was going 60 miles an hour. "Huh, and you lose Gaki," Tsunade told him happily, but then began healing the diagonal cut she got from the fight, which again was taking longer to fix. Actually you lose sensei," Shizune told her travel partner timidly. "What? She is right. After all, you said that you could beat him with one finger when you just used your whole fist to smack him through those walls. That I will have to pay for," Jiraiya told his old teammate with a smile until he mentioned having to pay for damages. Course this just made Tsunade annoyed and she soon walked away back to her hotel room with Shizune following soon after, but stopped suddenly. "Hey Gaki, that last jutsu was far too advanced for someone as weak as you. Just give up on it before you face disappointment from your failure," she told him, only to hear a growl from the somehow still conscious boy. "Too advanced? I will show you. I will have it down in a week and use it to kick your ass and bring you back to the village. And that is a promise on my Nindo," Naruto told her, determined only for her to laugh at him. "Yay right, you will never get that jutsu down. But you know what, how about a bet? If you manage to learn that jutsu in a week, then I will go back to the damn village with you again. Hell, I will even give you me necklace. But if you lose, then you have to spend the rest of your life sending me 80% of the money you make each year," Tsunade tells him, shocking Shizune that she would bet her necklace and also by how dangerous she made the bet for the young boy. "Mater, you can't pause," she began, only to be interrupted by Naruto struggling to get up from the rubble even with all his chakra focused on helping heal the damage. "I accept your challenge. For I'm not gonna back down from my promise. For that is my Nindo. My ninja way. Datbayo," Naruto told her with his confidence clear. Course this makes Tsunade suddenly see an image of the ones she lost standing by Naruto again, but she shook it off yet again and left the area. "Just you wait, grandma, I swear I will prove you wrong. After all, what kind of cage would I be if I lose to some jutsu?" Naruto thought to himself as he was helped to their own room by Jiraiya. For said old man was more worried about the bet than his student's health, seeing as he knew that the boy was already well on his way to being perfectly healthy and only probably needed a good night's rest to be fine. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any fanfictions you would like to see on the channel, leave them in the comments, and have a great day.